Hello there, welcome back to the Agostino Zinga show with your host Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 973. That is Nuevo Siete Tres with your host Agostino Zinga. What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking, people? Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga show, the number one cultural commentary podcast in the world. Hope you're doing good wherever you may be. I hope you are doing good wherever you may be. How am I doing? Pretty fine, I'm not gonna lie. Off of the back of flipping the Liverpool result. The Liverpool result the other day was pretty fantastic, wasn't it, eh? What was it, losing 3-0, 3-1 or whatever, away from home against fucking, what are they? Nottingham Forest? No, actually at home. That makes it even better. They were at home. They were at the fucking Cop. None of that fucking, you'll never walk alone nonsense, right? Actually, I think they sung that fucking chant and half of the fucking stadium was empty. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving the fact that their manager came in first season, won the league, and those guys thought they were on to create a dynasty. And now all of a sudden they're having a pretty shit season. I think they're below us in the table. I think Liverpool might be below us in the table. I think we're like 10th or something, and they might be 11th, or maybe like, one down, and we're 11th and they're 12th. But Liverpool are in and amongst us on the table. And you know what I fucking hate about Liverpool? Apart from being rivals, apart from, all the history there, one of the things I really despise about Liverpool as a team is the way that they're treated in the media. If I didn't tell you that Liverpool are a place below us in the Premier League table, if you don't watch football, if you don't pay attention, you wouldn't know. Based on the media, based on the lack of talking about it in the press, you would never know that. But the way that they talk about United every week, if we lose, if we draw, it's over, it's the end, it's this, it's that. And Liverpool, who won the Premier League last season, right? They won the Premier League last season at Cantor, are below us in the Premier League. But you don't hear the pundits going on and on about it. You don't see Sky Sports essentially grilling the manager the same way they grilled fucking Erik ten Hag towards his end of his tenure, the way they grilled Ruben Amorim, during the whole time he's been at the club. I've not so far seen the Liverpool manager sit down with Sky Sports and have to really answer for his crimes, for what he's done to Liverpool, or for how they're failing on his snuff. Now, to be fair, rivalry aside, probably the main reason why Liverpool are struggling, we know why, innit? Rivalry aside, I think most of us know why Liverpool are struggling. They're clearly suffering still from the death of Diogo Jota, right? That's nothing to laugh about, nothing to smirk about. I think football rivalries aside, I'm never going to laugh or insult them for that, because you can clearly see the players are really struggling with the death of Diogo Jota. Maybe in the press, he wasn't the most flamboyant, he wasn't the most outspoken guy, but obviously on the pitch, he was a fucking great player. One of the players that I feared the most in the fucking Liverpool team, because he was inevitable. Diogo Jota this is a weird analogy, weird example, weird comparison, but hear me out. Diogo Jota for me kind of reminded me of Dirk Kuyt. If you remember, if you watch football, you know who Dirk Kuyt was, right? The Dutch player. I used to hate him for Liverpool too, because he was inevitable. Every time he got on the pitch, every time he was playing, he was always up for it. He was always clutch. He always came up with a decisive moment, whether it was a dropping of a shoulder, whether it was a pass that led to an assist, led to a goal, whether it was retaining possession, whether it was scoring a goal. Very versatile, could play literally across the entirety of the pitch except for defense. I thought Diogo Jota was the same, but Diogo Jota had another element to him as well, where he could play up front. Diogo Jota could legitimately play up front as a false nine. Incredible finishing ability, outside the box, inside the box, low center of gravity. He had that Bernardo Silva way of dribbling, where he always looks like he's falling over, but he isn't. He looks very slight and very weak, but on the ball, incredibly strong. And obviously, I think the season before he passed away, he had a lot of injuries, and he was coming into a bit of form. He had a lot of injuries in that season, and towards the end of the season, he played pretty well. And then he was already, I think in pre-season, I think that's when he passed away in a car accident. He was getting his fitness back. But behind the scenes, you could tell, even from that Big Up Scotland the other day, when Scotland qualified for the World Cup and they asked Andy Robertson at the end of the game, this is a game for Scotland, right? They're qualifying for the World Cup. It's many months after his passing, and Andy Robertson brought up fucking Diogo Jota. He brought up his name. Like, yeah, man, I'm still thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really, really affected the club. Really affected the club in a big fucking way. The players, maybe more than Arne Slot, he didn't really know him too well, maybe over a year. But the players are obviously suffering for it. But as a fan of the football, just looking from the outside in, it is quite fun to see Liverpool failing as bad as they are, and to see the press kind of ignoring it. Arne Slot isn't getting grilled. The players aren't getting criticised as much as our players were. It's kind of annoying. I understand it, but it does kind of show you the bias in the media with Liverpool players and Liverpool fans, because most of the media anyway are ex-Liverpool fans or you know, ex kind of associated with the club in some way, shape or form. It's kind of weird actually how that happens. I'm not gonna lie, and it's also weird how a lot of these ex-pundits get to commentate on our games, United games. You know, like it should be a bit of a conflict of interest there. How these pundits who played for Liverpool get to comment? You know, it doesn't really make any sense if you're thinking about it. It doesn't really make any sense. But I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Talking about leaving it there. Big up Ronnie Fieg and big up Kith. Ronnie Fieg has announced a new project that he's launching with Kith happening very, very soon regarding a pair of shoes. It's like a Nike capsule collection, no shoes anyway. It's a Nike capsule collection. There's going to be shoes involved. There's going to be clothing involved, I think, based on the photo shoot. And there's a nice, really heartwarming message behind it. But it's caused some controversy on social media because a lot of sneaker fans, myself included, are a bit confused because the whole premise around the shoes and the collection is to pass something down to your to the future generation, pass something down to your kids. Kids can build on this, blah 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 blah. So allegedly the shoes are meant to be in kid sizes only, but the shoes that he's wearing in the shoot are adult sizes. He did a little promo thing with the guy on Complex who dresses like shit, and they were sitting at the side of a Knicks game wearing the shoes. So I'm not really sure what the deal is. It's a bit confusing, but the shoes do look beautiful. The fucking photo shoot is incredibly cute. So I would love to see that. Hopefully some of this stuff is available to buy for all of us adults, and it's just a kids thing. And then I'm gonna comment a little bit on the kids thing as well. I'm not really the biggest fan of kids fashion. I know Sense did it recently, right? Essence did it recently, where they launched a whole kind of like, you know, site essentially for kids fashion, where you could buy designer clothing for kids. I've never been a fan of that. I'm not going to lie. I've never been a fan of designer clothing for kids. I think those families online or those influencers that dress their kid up in Bottega, put their kid in Louis Vuitton, give their kid a baby Rolex, all this stuff, I think that's really odd and bizarre. And I wouldn't want my kid to be that materialistic at that age, you know? I think they should get to the stage where they want a pair of trainers, like most kids do. When you're about to be a teenager, you want some cool shoes for school. But I think by and large, as a child, children in general shouldn't be wearing too many name brands. And this comes from a guy that doesn't have kids. I know it's different because I know, you know, I come from a place in East London where there's a lot of like, you know, teenage pregnancies and shit. And one of the things they used to say back in the day, I'm not sure if it's still the case now, but if you grew up in a working class area where there's a lot of teenage pregnancies, they did used to say sometimes the reason why a lot of girls would follow through and not maybe abort the pregnancy was, weirdly enough, the girls felt like their lives were a failure. So when they got pregnant, they kind of felt like that was their chance to sort of like start again. That was their chance to kind of make their life not a failure by, you know, bringing in a new life and basically trying to give that kid a best life possible. Having the kid also maybe pushes you to maybe, you know, become more responsible, to maybe grow up a little bit, hustle on the job, blah, 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 and just provide that kid with a lifestyle that you probably never had access to because obviously you grew up poor. So in the hood, in the area, in ends where I'm from, you see a lot of kids in strollers with like gold chains, with like rings on, with like great trainers, baby shoes, like super cute little Air Force Ones, wearing fucking baby Avirex jackets. It's fucking crazy. And most of these people are living in like horrible, you know, damp covered fucking flats and stuff, and really fucking banged up council homes. But they make sure when their kids step out, they look fucking, they always look like they're dipped in olive oil like me, if they're black, right? They always look like they've been fucking smothered with Vaseline, and they're always dressing in fucking amazing clothes. Personally, I understand it from that center side of things. If you're from the hood, I get it. You're trying to give your kid a better life than you had. But I think regular people dressing their kids in designer, I don't think that's good. I think you're creating a monster. Same thing goes for, I think, picking up your kid in the car all the time. Controversial statement, but I think picking your kid up from school in the car or dropping your kid off in the car all the time as well, I think also creates a monster. That expectancy of like, that is the usual of like just get, as opposed to, you know, regular kids, you just walk to school, you get a bus, you get the school bus, you figure it out. I think the idea of like pick up your kids all the time, having them dressed in designer, you're going to create a fucking monster. Be careful. Anyway, let's continue with the caption. Ronnie Fieg said as follows: passing the torch to the next generation. That was my pitch to Nike 18 months ago when we met to discuss the next Kith for Nike collection. When I was growing up, everyone had their brand. You wouldn't wear anything else. You were loyal to one. Almost like wearing it meant you were repping your home team. Bloody hell, man. Relax with the Nike sucking off, by the way, Mr. Ronnie Fieg. I like you, right? You come across like a good dude. Very great businessman, obviously. The Kith empire he's created is fucking phenomenal. But the Nike glazing is a little bit too much. Like, god damn it, like, pull your head back a little bit. Like, Jesus Christ. He's really, I feel like he's really vying for a job there, innit? Don't you get that feeling? I think he wants to be the next Virgil there or something. He's vibing for the job. He wants a role there or something. Fucking hell. All right. For me, the brand was Nike. The first brand I collected. The first brand so many loved for the magic it produced. As I've gotten older and had 2 daughters of my own, I wanted to install that same love for the... So you want to basically indoctrinate your kids to love Nike as much as you do. Fucking hell. Okay, I guess so. I want them to feel the same excitement opening a fresh box of pairs of Nike as I did at their age. That's the thing though. Like, if you had Nikes at their age, like, it's kind of impressive actually that he's still got the love for sneakers that he has now. Because that kid there, I don't know. I'm not good at baby ages and shit. But that daughter of his there, she looks like she's probably under 10 years old, right? I don't know she might be 6 or 5, right? This little girl here. I don't think I had my first Nike at 6 or 5. I think the whole reason why you build this love and this fucking impression of Nike is because usually you get a proper pair. Like maybe you might get a secondhand or whatever, or a vintage pair. Or whatever, or one from a charity shop, or whatever, or Karrahboo sale, or a fake pair. But the first real pair you get is usually a bit later on. Maybe it's when you go to college and you get your first job, right? That might be a thing. I think for me, my first legit pair of Nikes might have come. I was kind of lucky, I think, because at the time when I was growing up, Sports Direct was around still, but I forgot the name of it. What was it called? Was it called JJB? There was a shop before Sports Direct. I forgot the name of it. But there was a store that was around before Sports Direct, but the same sort of concept where it was like a large sporting goods store. They had everything from like golf clubs to fucking, tennis rackets to fucking fishing rods and footballs and all that malarkey. And they sold fucking Nike shoes and sometimes heavily discount ones. And back in the day, this is not a thing nowadays, but back in the day, if you're a sneakerhead, the whole point of being a sneakerhead was not to always buy the most baked thing. It wasn't to buy like the fucking Futura Dunks and shit or the SBs or whatever. It was to find like hidden stuff that people weren't aware of. So back in those days, I think I might have bought like a Speridon, or I might have bought like a Huarache, or I might have bought like a Air Trainer, like stuff that wasn't obvious. You'd buy stuff, so that way it always come in horrible colors. It might be all red, it might be all brown. Right, it might be white with pattern leather and blue fucking contrast stitching. So, or I think actually no, I take it back. My first Nike might have been a Cortez, which I hate now, by the way. I think my first brand new Nike that I ever purchased may have been a Cortez, a white Cortez, which I absolutely battered, by the way. My parents hated me for it because I think I beat them up in a week. I was playing football with them, and then I ended up fucking, back in the day, you would Tipex your shoes. So if your white shoes were getting fucked up from kicking the ball and shit, you would get Tipex and put it on there. Or after, if you would obviously had some money, you'd go buy a white shoe polish and you try to fill in the gaps a little bit. Obviously, you look good from afar. If you come up close, you can see all the fucking flakes and shit. So yeah, I think Cortez might be my first one. But again, the love for Nike developed because you couldn't get it, right? It was a scarcity thing. It was a lack of finance thing. I think if you're a kid and you're 6 years old, it's kind of hard to maintain your... If that's true, and Ronnie Fieg did get his proper pair of Nikes when he was 5 or 6, and he's still this obsessed with Nikes, he probably deserves that job at Nike. He probably deserves it. Because for me, it's waning. I'm not as much of a sneaker as I was in the past. In the past, I used to have like, boxes of fucking sneakers stacked up in my room. I think at my height, I probably had like 150 pairs of shoes. I used to resell shoes. I used to queue up for limited edition shoes. I used to buy vintage shoes on eBay, buy them from fucking Yahoo JP. I used to be fucking scouring the internet for scans of Nike catalogs, all that, the whole thing, talking about it on fucking forums, going to sneaker meetups and shit, hanging around in Nike Town, Foot Patrol, big up Wes, big up who's that other guy who used to love to work there, I think is it Kyo, Koi, I forgot that fucking Asian dude's name is there as well, really cool dude. But yeah, man, big up Sam City Skates as well, big up, what was it, Slamming Kicks as well, Magdi and them guys. But over time, I've kind of got off it, I think maybe as well reps as well. I'm not gonna lie, reps have kind of killed my love for fucking sneakers because it's so easy to get. Nothing is limited edition anymore, really and truly. You missed out on the fragment Travis Scott Jordan 1s. You could just get reps of them tomorrow if you want to. You might pay $200 because, you know, reps aren't cheap anymore, especially if you want high quality ones. But if you want the shoe, you can get it. If you miss out on the fucking reservation, you get reps. Or just the fact that they're around, it just makes it not as special anymore. You don't really need it. Plus, everyone's got them online. You feel like you've already seen them. I think seeing them feels like you already have them. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't really care about sneakers as much as I used to. If anything, I care more about trying to buy, like, you know, stuff that's not bait, like offline. So that's why I'm super happy that I get sent sometimes John Geiger shoes. I can't wait for his skate shoes to come out. I'm definitely going to be purchasing those. I've got the fucking Slady Benbury sponges. I'm into that sort of stuff. I'm into buying the, you know what I mean? I might actually get the Westside Gun Sauconys. Westside Gun has a pair of Sauconys coming out that look pretty cool. The only bait limited edition thing that I've probably got my eye on might be the Black Cat 4s. There's a pair of black, I don't know if they're out already. I haven't even checked actually, but there's a pair of Black Cat 4s that are coming out. I've got the pair from like from 2003 to whatever, but there's a 2025 pair coming out that has the same shape as the updated shape of SB of 4s, which is the Nike SB shape. It's the same shape you have for the Nigel Sylvesters, brick by brick, so they're fucking brilliant and beautiful. There has been a lot of controversy around them because allegedly when you wear them, they squeak, right? They make these squeaking sounds when you walk up and down and shit, but I don't give a fuck. That's the only thing I'm kind of thinking that I kind of want. I'm not going to lie. Everything else I'm kind of over. Slightly over. Let's see. Are the Black Cat 4s? No, okay. Black Cat 4s maybe. I think they dropped already, right? I think I might have missed those. I'm not going to lie. I think they probably already dropped. I can't see anything here. I'm seeing the Nego Air Forces, Air Force Air 95s. Bada bing, bada boom. I think the Black Cat's out yet. Maybe they're not out. Okay. Maybe the Black Cats are not out just yet. Maybe I'm bugging. Let me see in stock. In stock. Yeah, okay. Black Cat 4s aren't out yet, but those are the ones I've got my eye on. Anyway, let's get back to the clip. The caption. I wanted to feel the same excitement opening a fresh pair of Nikes as I did at that age, and the building that emotional bridge starts with parents. And since I can't hand down my 10.5 collection to my daughters for them to wear, here we are. Man, I remember a time where I was a 10.5 US. That's a UK 9.5. There was a time where I was a 10. I think the perfect size for an Air Force One is probably UK 10 or UK 9, US 11 or UK 10, US 10. There was a time where I could get away with wearing a 10. I think I had actually a pair of snakeskin. What were they? Were they snakeskin, right? Air Force One. Was it is it JP? I think it was a Co.JP Air Force One. Co.JP Air Force One snakeskin. I remember I had those, and those are the smallest I've ever worn. Those are the ones. That's the one. Reflective. That's the one. The reflective one. I had these, right, in the 10.5 US. That's a sexy shoe size, man. I can't fit into a 10.5 now anymore. My foot size now legitimately is US 12. I'm definitely a US 12 across the board now, which is a UK 11. I'm not even a UK 10. I could probably do UK 10.5 if I wanted to stretch, maybe remove the insole. But if I want to be comfortable and not do anything and just wear the shoe straight out from the shop and not have any issues, I have to wear a fucking US 12. My feet have grown, man. It's so fucking annoying. I remember there was a time where I could get away with wearing a US 10.5. Oh, what a fucking time, man. Lucky Ronnie Fieg's got 10.5. I went to create products that were parents wouldn't have, and instead of experience vicariously through our children. If we're excited to buy a pair for our kids, then we'll be excited to explain why they're special and unique to them. And in doing so, we will help build an emotional connection that we loved growing up for the feet that shape the future. That's the thing I don't really understand. For the feet that shape the future, him saying, right? Apologies, for the feet that shape the future. But there's retros. You know, Nike, that's the thing that maybe Nike are falling off. Like, why go to all this length to create this really cool campaign, very emotional? There's a lot of fucking love there. It's a family affair. He's handing it down to his kids. He probably feels like it's going to be a part of their legacy. They may grow up to become designers themselves, have their own brand, all this really cool shit. But then you're pushing retros. If you're going to do this sort of collection, you probably should just try and make a new shoe. But Nike are allergic to making new shoes, man. Like, it's just retros forever. No new silhouettes, nothing. No updated silhouettes either. Just the same old shapes. Don't get me wrong, an Air Force One and Air Max 95 are, you know, legendary Hall of Fame fucking sneakers. But come on, man. Let's have a little bit of a, you know, let's try with a new shape at least, innit? Let's try a little bit. Let's try a fucking little bit with having a new shape. But maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, let's continue. So that's a picture of him and his daughter there. You've got another picture of his daughter wearing a pair of kids Air Force Ones. with a Kith Nike sweatpants that look fucking cool. But the best bit is definitely the varsity jacket. Hopefully that varsity jacket is made in adults as well, because that varsity jacket is brilliant. Varsity jacket is, I think it's all denim. It looks like it's all denim. It's got that vintage Nike logo with the swoosh and the word on top and the Nike text on top, which is definitely an old school thing. Baseball jacket. It's got the nice fucking sleeves as well, elasticated, and the collar, and obviously on the waistband too. It looks fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie, I really fucking like the look of it. Like, that is really fucking nice. It looks, I think it's all denim, metal snap buttons, the sweatpants too. I love the logo on the sweatpants. That's a really cool idea of a logo. It's like an oval sign with two swooshes that connect back and front, right? So you get this kind of cool oval design, and then Kith with a Nike swoosh at the front in that kind of cream colorway. There's a picture of him and his wife and his kids, and you can see a better look on the Air Force Ones. They're really cool as well. I guess this is his take on a classic Air Force One, the white Air Force One. You know what's really funny, by the way? You know what's really fucking funny? I've heard, right? This is a better, clearer image of them. I've heard online that Gen Z kids are calling these Unk shoes now. That's how old we're getting nowadays on the internet. Gen Z kids are calling white Air Force One Unk shoes. They're calling these Unk shoes. These are classics, by the way. Classics in every person's sneaker collection. They elevate most looks, right? I think the Air Force, the white on white mid is very underrated, by the way. I saw conversations about that online recently, but I think the mid is a very underrated shape and design. But still, the Air Force One low, all white is classic. Loads of designer brands have tried and failed to copy them. I think maybe the best version of the copied Air Force One might be Bape back in the day with the original Bapester. And then the only thing similar to that may be when Phoebe Philo was at Celine. She designed an all leather Air Force One with leather midsole, everything. That kind of reminded me of, like, was it Hender Scheme or something? That was a kind of an edit on what Nike did with the Air Force One. So the design is classic. But I can't believe that kids are calling these Unk shoes, man. But anyway, the Unk Air Force Ones, looks like he's made them in, like, is that croc skin? I don't know what, is that lizard skin? I don't know what I think it's faux liver skin, but that effect is pretty cool. His take on an updated all white on white Air Force One. It's white on white. I like the addition of the little swoosh at the front here, because it's something that they usually do with Air Maxes and stuff, and sometimes Code.jp shoes. The lining on the inside is interesting. I wonder why he went for that color, by the way. I wonder why he went for this sort of like green, almost a green kind of color, dark green. I wonder why he went for that sort of color instead of maybe something else. The lace jaw is really cool. I like the lace jaw edition where he's gone for this kind of gold, this rose gold color on the lace jaw. It really pops out. There's also the same color tips, metal tips on the end of the fucking laces as well. That kind of gives it like a bespoke Nike ID kind of feel to it. So it's definitely it's definitely like an elevated, a luxury Air Force One, you know what I mean? Low, but it's definitely his flip on that one. And then on the other images, we've got other clips of other shoes. Then the shoe that I really want from this collection, and I hope this gets made in adult size. I think it does though, because him and his wife look like they're adults, right? And they are wearing adult sizes, so I'm sure this shoe will be available for adults. But it's his interpretation of like a Knicks colorway on an Air Force One, or sorry, on an Air Max 95. And the details on it are amazing. Like, I think on one side of the Air Max 95, there's loads of little Kith logos. Loads of little Kith logos on the gradient here, which is fucking cool. And obviously it's got the bigger bubble and shit. So I'm really hoping that comes out. I'm not too sure if that jacket is part of the collection as well. I don't think it is. There's also there's a black tracksuit too as part of the collection. That's fucking cool. There's a black tracksuit too. I wonder if there's gonna be one in orange as well. Yeah. Oh, that black tracksuit is hard. Yeah, I ain't mad at that black tracksuit with the webbing as well. Wow, that's not mad. So I guess the black tracksuit has like this mesh design, mesh paneling on the sides and maybe on the front as well. Maybe it's for obviously for perspiration and ventilation, sorry, but it also matches the Air Max 95 with the lace and the mesh on it too. There's also a t-shirt which I love as well. Yeah, really cool stuff, man. He fucking killed it. What a beautiful picture, by the way. What a fucking beautiful picture. With his daughter sitting in his lap with the Air Force Ones there. That's fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. Oh, look at the on the tongue as well. There's Kith Nike too. That's pretty cool. Nice addition too. On the tongue too, you can see there's Kith on top of the Nike swoosh as well. So really cool collection. Really hope this is going to be made into men's sizes too. There's the Air Force. There's the Air Max 95 that I mentioned. Like, even this might be even better than the Air Force One. Although I love the Air Force One, I think the Air Max 95 might be the best one actually. Because look at the detail. So I guess, is that, oh, it's on both sides. I thought it's on one side. So on both sides, where there's a gradient, there's this really cool pattern on the gradient where it says Kith Nike, Kith Nike, Kith Nike, stamped on the gradient of the Air Force One. The only thing it's not stamped at the bottom, it's got black, blue swoosh there. I like the addition of the black laces and the black tongue. It kind of makes it kind of, you know, blend in there. That's pretty cool. There's also more logos and Kith signs on this bit, the lace stay that is also 3M. Yeah, I think that's beautiful, man. Honestly, I think this is a beautiful shoe. I'm hoping this is men's as well. Hopefully this becomes men's. This is great. People online were hating this, I think, on sneaker Twitter. They really didn't have any good words to say about it, but I really like this. It's also got like this big blue air bubble. Ooh. Yeah, I'm for this, man. I'm all on this. This is fucking beautiful. Big up fucking Ronnie Fieg. And then more images here also. Somebody holding them in their hands. Actually, let me get rid of this thing on the side. Get a better image. Look at that. So it's like a blue. So it matches. Yeah, it's a Knicks colorway, because I think Knicks colorway is like what? It's like orange and blue, innit? Orange and blue, I think, is Knicks colorways, and maybe white. But the white mesh here at the top is fucking gorgeous. I'm not sure if that's. I don't think that's common, you know, the white mesh. I think do they have that even on Air 95s? 95 neons. Is that white mesh at the top? I think it might be. You know, let's double check. Is it white mesh at the top on 95 neons? Okay, it is. Okay, my bad. So maybe that's a standard on most 95s. But I love the addition of the white mesh. That white mesh is fucking beautiful. Really nice touch there. It looks really cool for the sides. You got a blue swoosh on the back, and then I guess the air bubble matches the blue swoosh on the back there as well. Beautiful shoe. Looks like it's nubuck as well the front and the gradient. I ain't mad at that as well. I ain't mad at that in the slightest. That's a fucking beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shoe. And then unfortunately we got this horrible styled fucking picture. This guy from Complex can't dress for shit. Is he wearing like a heli? Is that like a Hilo? What's that brand called? Hilo Elliot helmet, whatever that. I forgot the name of the brand. Where he kind of makes like his version of Bottega Veneta. I think it might be even. Is he South Korean? I'm not sure where that guy is from, but I think that's a jacket for Nike brand. But it doesn't even. So he's wearing that with like track pants or like that jeans with his shoe. Like he dresses like shit, man. The Complex guy dresses like fucking shit. What's his name? Joe LaPuma. That's it. Joe LaPuma dresses like shit, so he doesn't make them look great. But I think Ronnie Fieg makes him look pretty decent here in his outfit. I think he's actually wearing the Nike suit. So he's got the Nike suit collection. But they look really cool. Even from there, you can tell. So, you know, it's one of those type of pairs of shoes where if you've got a bad outfit like Joe LaPuma, you're going to make them look terrible. But if you've got a good outfit like Ronnie Fieg, you're going to make them look great. So big up Ronnie Fieg. They look fucking killer. I think he smashed this collection. I can't wait for them to come out. I really, really can't wait for them to come out. Really, really cool shoe. And then to make even matters worse, there's more in it. I think there's more. I think there's another colorway too that I saw somewhere here. The other colorway was like a one that's like burgundy. Where is it? I don't know if it's on here, but where is it? Actually, it might be on Kith's. It might be on Kith's site actually. It might be on the Kith site. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with me a second. It might be on the Kith. Oh, there we go. It might be on the Kith Instagram. I saw another colorway that looks really even better than it looks as good as the fucking neons as the Knicks colorway. I think it might be here. So this is Merry Kithmas Holiday Guide. We're celebrating this year's holiday season with a range of new collections and partnerships, as well as opening our new flagship store in London. Really? When they're opening that? They're opening a new store in London. When's that opening? On Regent Street. That's sick. I didn't know that. Big up them. So yeah, this is the other colorway. Look at that colorway there. Ooh wee! Look at that colorway, that orange, that burgundy one. Bombarate. So it's the same idea as the Knicks colorway with the stamps, right? With a pattern on the gradient, but instead it's burgundy. Burgundy gradient, or like a blood red gradient, wine gradient, whatever the fucking color is. That is beautiful. And I'm assuming the air bubble won't be white with the white swoosh there. So it goes gradient. At the top mesh there is red as well. The lace stays or the eyelets are white, stripes, black midsole, white lining, gorgeous. And the Footscape too, by the way. The Footscape is giving me hideout vibes. The Footscape is giving me hideout vibes. You guys remember those? Hideout Footscapes from back in the day. The hideout, hideout Footscapes. I think these are such a legendary shoe back in the day. And they came in pony hair too, if I remember right. It's a pony hair one as well, right? Yeah. Legendary shoe, man. hideout Footscape from back in the day. So this is kind of giving me hideout Footscape. And there's this one too, actually. This cow print. Who did this one? Yeah, there was a cow print one too. I remember that came out a few seasons ago. That was fucking beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that Footscape right there is fucking special. That Footscape right there is special. Oh, look at that Air Force One, actually. There's an Air Force One that's got all green. All green leather as well. All green leather, some sort of skin print or something. There's another Air Force One as well that looks like it's done up in a mix of like suede. It looks like it's done in like green and red. I wonder if that's like Christmas themed. Is that the idea behind it? Maybe they're Christmas themed Air Force Ones. Not too sure. And also there's these sock shoes. I don't know what the sock shoes are. These are for toddlers, right? There's these like slip-on sock shoes that look pretty cool. But yeah, those red ones look fucking beautiful. Let me see if I see some more. The speakers there, paddle stuff. Ooh, I'm not mad at these fucking Birkenstocks, actually. These are for the loyalty customers, right? He's got those Birkenstock type of Footscape things that he also makes. Oh, that blue, in the electric blue. That's beautiful. I didn't notice they have a little Kith stamp on the side of the strap as well. It's a nice little touch. Birkenstock Kith, that's a nice touch there. But that electric blue pair is the one. That is special. That kind of reminds me of Stussy when they did their Birkin. When you get, I think, if you ever got Birkenstock shoes as a collab, you're probably better off going to try and get the color you won't probably get retail, right? So try and get the bright color as possible. That electric blue one is fucking gorgeous. There's this picture of him holding the pair of shoes I'm thinking of. I can't find it anywhere. Okay, doesn't matter. But I'm sure there's a picture I saw of him holding. I didn't really like any of these A6, to be fair. They were a bit shit personally. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all this stuff, man, when it eventually does drop. But I'm hoping these shoes are also adults. But yeah, big up Kith. Big up Blood Clot Kith. Big up Blood Clot Kith. Talking about bigging up. Talking about flipping bigging up. There's some festival. There's some concert. Don't ask me which one it is or what the name of it is. Let's see if I can find the name. I'm not sure. There's something happening in Ghana. There's some sort of festival or something happening in Ghana. And they're getting down in a crowd. Look at this. Look at this video. Absolutely insane. Look at what they're doing in these Ghanaian festivals. Not too sure if it might be, I don't know if it's in Ghana or Nigeria. Maybe this is fucking Rolling Loud. It might be Rolling Loud. I'm not too sure. But there's some sort of festival happening in Africa right now at the moment. And they're getting down in a crowd. Look at how they're getting down in a crowd. Like what? And for some reason, I don't know why, but this girl is like doing her face like she's getting like, you know, whatever. But there's another clip out there where it shows what she was wearing. She's wearing like a catsuit essentially. She's not wearing parachute. She's wearing some sort of catsuit, so a top and a bottom connected. So unless the guy behind her literally like cut a hole in their trousers, nothing's really happening. They're just grinding, right, at the front of the fucking barriers. But she's acting as if like this is like full on. Like she's doing the whole like face, rolling her eyes back and stuff. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know if this is something that happens. Maybe because they look really young as well, by the way. They look like they might be under 25. So maybe that's something that happens. You know when you're a kid and you're, you know, dry hopping sometimes when you're a kid is lit, you know what I mean? Dry hopping can sometimes be just as good as doing the real thing and going all the way. So maybe this is what's happening there, and, you know, and they're actually dry humping, but it feels like it's like real. But I don't know, she's being a little bit dramatic. But I don't know if something is going on back there, but it's a bit crazy to do this in a fucking concert around a bunch of people. This is a bit insane to be at a festival somewhere and be like, you know, going to Pound Town at the front of the barriers. I mean, it's a bit mad. And you know what's even worse, by the way? It's not them going to Pound Town at the barriers. It's the guy that's recording them. He's just standing there recording both of them, not even moving. It's fucking bizarre. They don't seem to mind, by the way. They don't seem to mind. But I'm not gonna lie, there was a look at the grimace on her face. She's so dramatic. There was a time where this was fucking vibes, innit? Grinding, whining and grinding was a vibe. what happens? I guess maybe you get girlfriends or you get older. You know, it's just not a thing. But back in the day, when you went to a rave, when you went to a dance, when you went to a little bashment, right? Yeah, and you had an opportunity to have like some lady like gyrate and rub her fucking buttocks against your fucking crotch area. It was so fun. You're like, whoa, you know, it blew your fucking mind. You'd be thinking about that. You'd be thinking about it the whole way on the bus home. You know what I mean? On the walk home, you'd be fucking recounting the story, telling your mates. It would always hurt you. I remember when you go to house raves or whatever, it always hurt when no one saw it. That would be the one that hurt the most. Like if you were a guy and like me in it, I was always fucking fighting for the scraps and shit. So in my little kind of crew of guys, when we'd go out to go house parties and stuff, we'd be trying to, you know, trying to get girls' numbers, trying to, you know, kind of make out with girls and stuff. And I'd always be the one fighting for scraps and shit. So there'll be a couple of times where I would maybe, you know, be lucky where I happen to fucking catch a quick whine with maybe the quote unquote hottest girl in the club or in the fucking house party. But at that particular moment, none of my friends were there. They were outside or in the toilet somewhere. They were at the bar getting a drink, and they literally had it for like 5 minutes, but no one saw it. And then when I told them after, they think you're lying. They're like, nah, whatever. You're trying to shit. She was like, no, I promise you, man. She was all over me, man. She was like doing this, like, you know what I mean, hands on the floor and the whole thing. It's like, if no one saw it, no one saw it. So you kind of, these sort of occasions, you kind of wanted people to see. You kind of wanted to see just how much of a Dan Gorgan you were because you were gyrating on some girls behind in the dance party. It's fucking crazy, man. But nowadays, like I can't even imagine, you know, at my big age going to fucking a place like Karrahboo and doing this. I know it's some straight, like I know it's part of it, but it's kind of like, you know, it's bordering on the fucking Chris D'Elia. It's bordering on the Brian Callen if you're going to fucking Karrahboo and gyrating on fucking 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 21. Like, ooh. Bit weird. You know, I'm gonna leave it there, man. Big up the kids, man. Big up the kids out there having fun. Big up the kids out there having their fun, man. I love how she's making her face the way she's making her face, by the way. It's so fucking ridiculous like that. You know what I mean? It's like, girl, relax. You're not getting fucked. Like, just chill out a little bit. It's just a little wind. Stop being so dramatic. Anyway, big up Karrahboo, another person that likes to be dramatic. Big up blood clot Karrahboo. Karrahboo got on fucking Twitch. I think this was her Twitch stream, or was it DDG's? Anyway, I don't know who it was. Maybe she was on someone else's Twitch. No, I think it might be her own actually. So big up her. She's actually got what, 2,009 subscribers. Big up her, man. She's fucking killing it. 2,009 subscribers. Let's do a bit of pocket watching here. 2,009 subscribers. If she's got 499 subs that most people have, times 2,009, roughly she's probably making about 10 grand a month. That's decent, isn't it? For somebody that's not really a streamer like that, doesn't make content like that, is primarily an artist. You'd know them for, right? And maybe at worst an influencer, to have fucking 10 grand a month, which, you know, maybe minus fees from Twitch and stuff, she might get like 6 or 7 grand probably. That's pretty good, but she's not happy still. She's still trying to remind everyone to, like, you know, keep on subbing. But this is an interesting clip because it kind of contradicts a little bit what I spoke about the other day, which was concerning how a lot of girls are now, no, women in general are getting to the 100k salary mark quicker than guys. There's a lot more women, especially single ones, who are getting mortgages, you know what I mean, all that sort of malarkey. And women's earning potential has definitely increased because, you know, they're just fucking hustlers and know what they're doing and shit. But then there's other women like, you know, Karrahboo out there who are just, they seem to be allergic to the idea of working a normal job.
It's a 360 times 2, which means pretty much it doesn't end, and I can't drop music right now, so the only way I can really get money right now is if I sell pussy or do Twitch. And so I'm gonna just do Twitch. So like, if you want to help me and my 3 kids and my uncle and my uncle's wife and just help me, hey, then sub up.
She's probably half joking as well, don't get me wrong. She's probably half joking, especially about the 3 kids thing. But I do find it interesting how there is a segment of the population out there, especially I think mostly women, who don't really have the concept of work. Like they refuse to let that enter their minds. And I wonder if that's part of the reason why women are making more money than men, because they're refusing to work, right? If they can't, if they don't need to, and if they are working, they're only working high salary jobs. They're not fucking around doing menial work. I wonder if that might be part of the reason why these girls are making so much money. But I do find it interesting how it never once passed their mind to just get a job for the time being. I know she's kind of fucked over. I know she's kind of probably playing the waiting game because the situation she has with her label, which I guess is Lil Yachty, right? She had a falling out with Lil Yachty. She's not in Concrete anymore. And I think what it kind of stems down to is that she hasn't recouped. So Lil Yachty is basically saying that if she wants to get out of her label, she has to pay back the money that he spent on her, which I guess is the money spent on outfits, the money spent on music. And obviously if you're a girl, the money is crazy because, you know, you got girls can't get away with what guys do, where you can't get your hair cut, where you don't need to get your hair cut, where you can wear the same outfit a few days. Girls have to always be, you know, dropping and looking a certain way. She had her fingers online where she was regarded as somebody that dressed really well. Her and her friend, I forgot the other girl's friend, the one that is dating Playboy Carter at the moment. So her bills are probably racked up because of that, mostly music videos, just music production costs in general. So I think Lil Yachty, even though they're not on good terms, I think he basically said if she wants out of her contract, she has to recoup, she has to pay me back. And obviously she doesn't have the money for it because I think he said, last time I remember him talking about it, I think he said that she owes him $900,000 or something, around that mark. So close to $1 million. So unless her music makes $1 million and he gets it back that way, she's in this kind of loophole. But then I think Lil Yachty also said she's capping about can't release her music, because I think technically it wouldn't make sense if Yachty wants to get his money back for him not to let her make music, or not to let her drop, you know, or not to fucking clear records. It's his prerogative. It's in his best interest to let her clear records so that he can recoup. If she's not clearing records or not making music because she doesn't want to make it, she's in like a bit of a funk, she's going through something or whatever, maybe she's not feeling inspired, it is what it is. But I do find it interesting how she's not even considered the idea of getting a job. And I also think she probably looks at Twitch as probably a little downgrade, which it probably is, to be fair, if you're an artist. I think I agree with Blueface in that regard. I did see a clip of Blueface saying that you can't really be on Twitch, you can't really be a content creator if you're an artist. You kind of have to maintain an air of mystique, you know, and mystery and shit. You kind of have to be a little bit arm's length with people. You can't be always in their face, especially not in the way of like making content and stuff, where you're always yapping, always giving your opinion. It won't really serve your music. I think DDG is a good example. I think if DDG wasn't a streamer, maybe his music wouldn't be as popular, but I think he'd be taken more seriously. I think DDG doesn't get taken seriously because of, you know, his antics online and stuff. But yeah, I do find it interesting. There's a certain population of the women out there who just don't even comprehend the idea of getting a job. It's either they make it as a fucking social media influencer or content creator, or they go on OnlyFans. I think those are two pretty extreme ways to go, because they're both very volatile. They're both not guaranteed income, you know. There's no guarantee that she's gonna go on OnlyFans and make money. Like, I don't know. Like, there's probably a big population of guys. There's probably a big population of girls on there that have a kind of look anyway, you know. It's not that unique. I don't know. And also it might just ruin your image in general when those images come out of you spreading your legs, there's an ego on a couch somewhere. I don't know. You have to be careful about that sort of stuff. And also I think it should just be reserved for girls and people who are, you know, sex positive comfortable and shit. Not just everybody, you know. Not everyone has to be popping their pussy online, I think. But hey, what do I know? Moving on and talking a little bit about the thumbnail, let's talk about this topic, which I think is pretty interesting, relating to Five Guys opening a kiosk, a shop, a store, a place where you can purchase food at Heathrow Airport here in London. Heathrow Terminal 5 will have the first ever Five Guys at an airport. This is a big deal because I think most airports in the UK, I'm not too sure if they've got a deal, but I think for the most part, most airports in the UK, don't have a McDonald's, and it's mostly Burger King, and at some point, is it KFC? No, I think it's only Burger King. It's usually only a Burger King is available, and you know, Burger King is all right, don't get me wrong. Whoppers, you know, not too bad. I think the best thing on a Burger King menu for me personally is they got that chicken thing they have, right? That chicken sandwich. And the other thing that I really like from Burger King is the jalapeno balls, the little deep fried balls that they make. Those are really nice. But I don't know, I don't really rate a Burger King meal. I think the burgers are a bit mid, and I think the fries are a bit mid, so I'm not the biggest fan of it. But Five Guys is a good option. Five Guys is good. It's very expensive, right? Five Guys, you know, just going to a regular Five Guys restaurant, I think a regular meal, fries, you know, a double cheeseburger. Let's say if you know, I know you got to construct it yourself, but just to say you get a double cheeseburger and a fries and a fucking milkshake and stuff, that's probably going to cost you £30. I'd imagine anyway. Let me double check. I wonder how much it is. I think it's going to cost you £30. I'm pretty sure. UK Five Guys menu. Hopefully they have the prices on here because I think it's going to cost you £5. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Five Guys, right? So in the UK, according to this menu, I'm not sure when it was posted. It says here that burgers are hamburger is $9.25, cheeseburger is $10.95, bacon burger is $11.95, cheeseburger is bacon cheeseburger $11.95. So yeah, it's a lot. It's not fucking cheap at all. Not fucking cheap at all. Plus the fries, which is what, $4.25. That's already 15. Plus the milkshake, which is 5. Yes, yeah, so it's 25. About delivery. Don't even try and get this delivered. Don't even try and get this delivered from an Uber Eats or something or a Deliveroo. You're going to be paying £50 for your meal. It's fucking expensive. It's not cheap. It's not cheap in the slightest, bro. So I can't imagine how much more expensive it's going to be in an airport. Can you imagine how much more expensive this will be in an airport? Crazy. Anyway, courtesy of Heathrow News on Twitter, it says, welcome to Terminal 5 Guys. Welcome to Terminal 5 Guys. Oh, that's pretty funny. Terminal 5 Guys. I wonder if they picked that on purpose instead of Terminal 1. That's pretty cool. Delicious news. 5 Guys Europe has landed in Heathrow T5, the first for a European airport. It's ready to serve all your favorite burgers and fries, in addition to the breakfast menu for those with an early start. Plus, digital ordering helps to cut the short time to get a speedy serve. Okay, cool. So you can order it ahead of time and obviously pick it up. Congratulations to 5 Guys and retail team at Heathrow Airport on the fantastic opening. So there's some pictures of what it looks like. You know, Heath standard airport kind of affair. There's some screens to the right as you walk in where you can order your food, I guess. And I guess you wait somewhere around here to get it picked up. But the screens are super helpful. I personally like ordering from the people. I think that's kind of a nice little thing they got going on. I wonder with the cost of living and stuff, do they still offer free peanuts? Not sure if they do. I wonder if they still offer the free peanuts. That was a pretty nice little touch they did. And of course, there's the little stands there. I think this is where I think you're meant to do all your fucking condiments and stuff, right? This little island here. You know, this is where you put all your fries and your ketchup. I think it's where they usually have it. And obviously they've got the drinks, a refillable drink section there to the back, and I think a toilet as well. So pretty decent, pretty fucking decent. But I'm just thinking in my head, right? What type of psycho would you have to be to order a fucking 5 Guys fucking meal before you get on a flight anyway? I'm at the point in my life nowadays where if I go on flights, fair enough, I'm going on short European trips. I'm not really doing a lot of transatlantic flights nowadays or flying in general. But, you know, maximum flight I'm going to go on is like 3 hours anyway. Don't get me wrong. But still, you know, the whole fucking affair of going to an airport and shit is going to take you like half the day anyway. But I tend to, like, you know, maybe have a sandwich on the way there, or at worst maybe get a sandwich there at Pret or something. But the idea of getting like a meal, like a Burger King, like I've never got that. I think the times I've been in, you know, Stansted or whatever that has a Burger King in there, I've got like a drink, you know. I think during the height of summer, that was really nice to get a fucking drink with some loads of ice cubes and stuff and get that refill time and time again. But the idea of sitting on a plane with, like, you know, a double cheeseburger in your gut and milkshake and fries is insane. Because that I don't think that airplane toilet is going to be able to fit my bum. I don't think that airplane toilet is designed for people like me to shit in. I know it's designed for everybody, but I think my shits are different. I don't think that an airplane is designed to handle my bubble guts, my fucking ass, my masoko, my derriere on that fucking toilet seat. You know what I mean? Blowing up. It's going to be too much. So I wouldn't personally, and I would also be uncomfortable. I've also got a thing where I'm a big fan of, like, when you go places to, like, eat when you get there sort of thing, like to kind of force yourself to go out. Because sometimes if you're, like, usually for me, I'm usually getting the fucking horrible graveyard flight, the first flight out, like, which is at 6 a.m, which means I have to leave my house at like 4 a.m. So it's fucking crazy, right? So if that's the case, when you get there, you're probably going to be tired, because I'm an idiot. I'm one of those people that doesn't sleep before I go fly out. I'm usually staying up and stuff, doing fucking nonsense. So by the time you get to your place, you're fucking tired, you know? But a way to kind of force yourself to do something and not just stay in and not just sleep that first night and just lose it, is to kind of get there hungry, get there fasted. And then, you know, boom. As soon as you get there, you kind of find the first place on your fucking list of places that you saved in your Google Maps to go and eat at. it kind of forces you. So I'd rather, you know, if it was a bad example, but if I was going to a place like Berlin or whatever, instead of getting a Burger King before I fly, I'd rather just fly faster than get a fucking Burgermeister, you know, or get a fucking doner when I land. You know what I mean? Like I would never order this. It's just, it feels like it's too much. But the thing is, when I'm in the minority. I'm definitely in the minority, because when you go to the airport, I feel like the Burger Kings are even fuller than the Pret a Manger's. They're even fuller than what's the other one? I forgot the other one. Or the other one that serves like fucking meatballs and shit. I forgot the name of it. Leon. I think there's a Leon in Stansted too. But I'm definitely in the minority because, number one, the pubs are full, which I've always fucking think is odd. I want to try it one day though. I do want to try to go to Stansted, when I go to Stansted Airport, to go to one of those fucking Wetherspoons and get a pint. Right, just a not even a Guinness, probably just a pint of lager, whatever Amstel they have there. But the pubs are usually pretty full, and obviously the fucking Burger King is full. So I'm in a minority for sure. Most people don't mind flying with a belly full of fucking really, you know, heavily oiled and greasy fucking burgers and cheese. Like, it's too much, man. It's too fucking much. But maybe I'm a PUSSY. Maybe I'm a PUSSY. There's the pictures. There's more images and links here, courtesy of the Five Guys website, so you can see it. And there's some, and this is the Five Guys Instagram actually, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's very youth orientated. They've got a lot of cool little things that they do here to get people excited about Five Guys. But yeah, man, I wonder if all around in the UK, if actually it's the best for a burger, like high street burger, or is it GBK? I'm not too sure, because it's been a while since I've had one of these like high street burger things, but it's decent enough, isn't it? They cook it in like it's like peanut oil kind of thing that they do, which is all right. But yeah, they're really out here doing their thing on social, it seems.
Festive, cozy.
What's that? Last week we invited special guests over to a cozy afternoon in Manchester to celebrate the launch of our cinnamon bun shake.
Awesome.
What great.
Maybe again, it's age. I'm not the biggest fan of shakes anymore. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe give me a half a cup. That full cup will probably send me to the toilet forever and ever and ever. I'm not the biggest fan of milkshakes I was in the past.
3 set of words.
Yum. Unreal. Delicious.
Unbelievable. Unreal. Lost for words. It's that good. Hey guys.
Fair play. What else have we got here? My post-shift routine since Five Guys launched in Blue City card. What's a Blue City card?
Please could I get
Blue light card.
Would you like any fries from some? Get a little fries.
Oh, you can save money. Okay, cool.
That's alright, thank you.
Yeah, decent, I guess. Decent. Haven't been in a while, but yeah. Not mad at it. Heathrow Terminal 5 if you want that ting. Big up Hot Dinners. Hot Dinners have also reported this regarding eating with Todd. I know this guy gets memed to fucking obliteration. He gets memed online to obliteration, but I kind of like him. I'm not gonna lie. I found a lot of cool places in London because of him. I think he popped up or blew up during the pandemic mostly. If you don't know who I'm talking about, white guy from the UK, Ginger, who's very enthusiastic about cheesy stuff and things that explode, right? He's always very expressive in his reviews and shit. He's launching a food festival, which is pretty cool, man. Launching a food festival. Eating with Todd is launching Todd's Festive Feast at Outernet on Tottenham Court Road this Christmas. So I guess a Christmas food festival market type of thing, I'm assuming it would be, right? So love him or loathe him, you can't get away from eating with Todd. Exactly. He's anonymous on social media. He's killing it actually on social media. I'm not sure if it's just him by himself posting on that Instagram account, but he fucking kills it. He puts a lot of content out there, man. He turns it around. It's kind of crazy. If you've ever been really interested in London's food scene, and while the food influencer has his detractors, there's no ignoring his massive following. So you can't expect his brand new food festival, food market, which has just opened this week, to be quite crowded. Paula, Todd's Food Feast is going to be a daily gathering of London street food traders taking over a space at Outernet, which is just beside Tottenham Court Road. The one factor that draws them all together is that they've promised to serve up hero dishes that will look amazing on your socials. Okay, cool. So this is like a social media friendly market with I quite like that. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it won't taste that great, right? But it will look good in your feed. That's for sure. To that end, they've got the guys from Ash's BBQ making Christmas Dale Perio donuts, whole smoked hog, cranberry sauce, stuffing cranberry. They got roll boys and something else. So yeah, let me check it out. Actually, let's see the Instagram. I'm curious to see what they're doing here. Oh, it's already got 10k followers on the Instagram alone. So let's see what they've got here, what they've got going. They've got people making, what's that, hog? Is that brisket? Oh, look at that whole pig on the fucking rack. Fucking hell. Absolutely insane, man. Let's see this video. What's this about? Who's that?
This Christmas market with a focus on incredible chefs and restaurants. The Christmas specials here are insane. Welcome to Todd's Festive Feast outside Tottenham Court Road station. First up, Roll Boys, the best cinnamon buns in London. Think classic cinnamon buns and never been seen before Christmas specials. Then you've got...
Oh, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Classic cinnamon buns covered in crazy toppings. I'm not mad at that. Cinnamon buns probably should be left simple and plain and classic, but I'm not mad at that. There's a couple places in Berlin actually that do this as well. They have this whole cinnamon bun thing with like hazelnut and like chocolate chip and crazy stuff in between. And I've bought all the crazy stuff, and obviously the classic is the best. You know what I mean? Pecan nut and stuff is fucking nice, but that looks pretty tasty. I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty tasty.
From the Ashes, who have bought a bespoke hog roast smoker. They're serving up barbecue pork bat, as well as hog roast donuts with a chili jam.
Oh, that's a bit much, isn't it? Whole roast donuts. I'm sure that tastes lovely, right? The mix of like meats, the mix of like savory and sweet, but it's a bit too much for me, right? A jam donut sliced in the middle and stuffed with fucking red meat.
Oh my god. Then you've got my favourite hot chocolate in London, Chin Chin. The marshmallow fluff and
sounds a bit racist.
thick hot chocolate is elite. And their banana bread is in a league of their own with a sticky caramel sauce. The Barbecue King, Reuben's has reinvented the hot dog. And you can get a gravy dunk pot on the side. I'm telling you, it will beat your Christmas dinner. Bread Ahead Bakery have brought their famous creme brulee donut alongside all the classics, including the pistachio. Then you've got duck shed. Think Christmas jam, stuffing, duck, and camembert. I look forward to this sandwich every
that looks delightful. I might have to pop down, man. That's pretty decent.
single Christmas. For burgers, you've got truffle burger, dry-aged beef patties, truffle mayo, crispy onions. Just look at the state of it. And Mestizo are bringing their Mexican flair. The market is
God almighty, look at this stuff. Fucking hell.
officially open, and there are plenty more traders there too. The market's free to get into, and it's there for the next 6 weeks, so I'll see you down there.
Oh, big up him, man. You made it free entry too. That's pretty cool. A lot of these things you usually have to buy a ticket or at least register your interest that way. You can just walk in. That's pretty cool. Big up Todd, Feasting with Todd. So another video here.
Yo, people, then let me put you on 10 things I ate at Todd's Christmas market in Tottenham Court Road. First up was the mulled wine thing. Man had the white hot chocolate and I can't even show you because I inhaled my thing one time. Next up was the duck shed. I must have went for the Vietnamese duck. Now the burger was okay, but because it was a shredded duck thing, my burger just fell off.
Fuck, man. That's the only problem, innit, with being a foodie or being a food influencer. Look at those hands, man. I'm too vain. I can't do this, man. I can't have my hands looking like that. Don't get me wrong. He looks like he's well fed. He looks like he probably can cook a good meal at home as well. This gentleman, what's his name? Jammer Be Hungry, but I can't do it. This is the one reason why I can't be a food influencer. Look at his hands, bro. God damn, those are hands of a real eater, and I don't mean that in a sexual way. Those are hands of a real fucking eater. Jesus Christ.
Apart from Tutu's, my sis came out of nowhere with this glizzy. It was from the guys at Reuben's. Dislocated her jaw and gave it the Henry Hoover. I have to hold at 8.5.
Dislocated her jaw is hilarious. I guess maybe the only way to make this work is that maybe if you did this like once a week, right? As like part of a balanced diet and shit, which is still kind of bad, I think, right? But Jesus, it looks fucking good though, and it's probably worth it. You got one life to live, man. Fuck it. Roll the dice.
Out of 10, you know. Next up was from the Ashes. Man, and we're talking about pork wrapped up in a donut, you know. Cross-section looking correct. Think I might give these guys a 6 out of 10 still. They don't know I had to visit my truffle burger gang. Once I went for the lobster thing. Beef, lobster, mayo, and crispy onions. I'm gonna give them a 7.5. Next up was the donut man them from Borough Market. Comes to the excitement on Sis's face though. Had to run up the big back synchronized bite.
I don't know. If it's me, I'm gonna just go for whatever they sell as the classic thing. I'm not gonna go for the. I mean, if I'm going to a truffle burger joint, I'm not gonna get a hot dog. I'm just gonna get a truffle burger. You get me? I'm not gonna run the risk that way. If it was me, at least, anyway.
with this. Had sis doing the diabetes dance. Next up is Beast and Phil. These man talking about the steak and chips thing. That chimichurri sauce was the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Make sure you don't sleep on the chips either. It's a 9 out of 10 still. Then we went on to Jumi cheese. I think these men were doing things called cheese rasclats. Mixed it with some sexy potatoes and glizzies. Exactly what you need on a cold winter's day. Everything was correct except for my lactose intolerance. Then we got some dessert from these man. Them said banana pudding things. Chocolate sauce on the bottom. Come on, now we in Mexico for the next one. Man, them were cooking in stone to make a DIY nacho taco quesadilla. Yeah, of course, bad man. Like,
yeah, that's a bit too much though. I don't want to make my own fucking nachos or quesadillas, whatever tacos, just standing around like this. You know what I mean, this is a little bit too ghetto for me. Like, give it to me already done. You know what I mean, I'm not gonna make them myself on the side. That's a bit mad.
Me speaks French. Anyway, make sure you like and follow for more content.
Yeah, fair play, man. Fair play. Food Fest is out there. Big up Blood Clot Feasting with Todd, man. Big up Blood Clot Feasting with Todd. Or Eating with Todd, sorry, not Feasting with Todd. Eating with Todd. His food market thing looks fucking cool. Definitely will try and check it out myself. Let me check some other article here. It says the UK now has a food market in TikTok viral dishes launched by top influencer courtesy of The Sun. This lady went to go check it out. Let's see what she said about it. Located next to the Outernet, just up Tottenham Court Road, you'll find an influencer who's followed 2.1 million followers, by the way. It's crazy for food. Known for trying some of the craziest and most viral dishes in the UK, Todd's foodie market has gathered some favourite dishes around. The influencer said, I got bored of seeing the same old food year in year after year at the Christmas market up and down the country, so it's time we reinvented the wheel. Proper food, proper chefs without unmatched quality. There are many viral hits across the market, including famous roll boys, she says here, cool, and cinnamon rolls. Other sweet options include bread ahead donuts, which they're much loved creme brulee donut. Visitors won't be short for a choice when it comes to savory options too. Jimmy cheese is literally feast for both your eyes and people eating it. At the giant raclette with different flavors. Yeah, for the cheesehead's going to be pretty nice as well. For example, you could have an alpiniste with crispy pancetta, rosemary roast potatoes, and rocket for $13.90. And the classic herbivore features a cheese of your choosing as well as rosemary roast potatoes. One thing I want to try next time I visit though is the Ashes Christmas Deli Perio donut, which features smoked whole hog, cranberry sauce, and stuffed cranberry. So everyone wants that fucking donut with fucking pig and shit. The pork donut basically. I guess it must be nice. Everyone is fucking fiending for that donut with fucking pork chops inside it. The duck shed, for my main meal, I tried at the duck shed, which features a simple concept. First, you choose if you want a burger, a wrap, a salad box, and then you decide on the filling. Options include vegan duck for $12.50, a French duck with grilled raclette and cheese for $13.95. But of course, I had to try the British Christmas quacker with slow roasted pulled pork, cranberry, bacon jam, smashed pigs in blanket, brie, and spinach. Oh, that sounds fucking nice. Oh. That sounds good, actually. I had it as a burger, and not gonna lie, it was a little disappointed. Oh shit! Okay, what was bad about it? Admittedly, I had big hopes, but thinking about it logically, duck is usually better as a wrap instead of as a bread. Instead, the bread was really dry. Oh no! Poor burger fucking use. Burger bun. The filling is good, and I really like the twist of the classic Christmas sandwich, though it could have done with a teaspoon more sauce. The portion is super generous though, and it's cooked right in front of you. Chin Chin. For my sweet treat, I beelined to Chin Chin. We've seen all the videos on social media of decadent hot chocolate, oogie gooey marshmallow. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna like this. This is definitely a white girl treat, to be fair. Hot chocolate with marshmallow over. I'm not gonna be there, to be fair. But the rest of it looks pretty nice. The rest looks pretty tasty. Rest of it looks pretty tasty. Big up eating with Todd. Big up eating with Todd. Moving on. Big up Blood Clot Summer Walker, man. Big up Blood Clot Summer Walker. Big up Rich the Kid. Big up Tori Brixx. Because actually, big up Summer Walker and then big up Rich the Kid next. Because this is a situation that I feel like regular guys like you and I will probably never encounter. This is something that I can categorically say we will never encounter a situation where the side piece is enthusiastic about being a side piece and is leaving you voice memos telling you, giving you advice about how she can best be, about best practices for her to be a good side piece. She's telling you techniques and tips and strategies for you to avoid getting caught cheating on your missus with her. What a crazy situation. And it's not like from some, you know, from some land monster, right? It's not some fucking landmine. It's not some landmine. It's not some land monster. It's a girl that looks like fucking Summer Walker, who's texting you, leaving you voice memos telling you, hey, I want to be the side piece. I'm okay with being a side piece. I don't want to be your main. I know you've got a girlfriend. I'm comfortable with that. Just do this, and this, so we avoid getting caught, so I can continue fucking you. Could you imagine? This is the greed they talk about in the Bible. This is the greed they spoke about in the Bible. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, DJ Academics posted this clip, which I'm assuming Rich the Kid sent DJ Academics to expose Summer Walker. It's a voice note that Summer Walker sent Rich the Kid at some point, where, you know, she basically under no false impression, she basically tells him flat out, hey, I want to continue being your side chick. Here's some tips for us to continue doing this under your girlfriend's nose. Fucking brilliant situation.
I'm sending you this right now because I'm 50, and they say when you're 50, your true self and your true feelings come out. Because, I don't know, I don't want to wait till tomorrow and I don't say it. I miss you. And I want to see you, and I want to hang out, and I'm honestly really glad. I know it probably sounds fucked up, but I'm really glad everything worked out how it worked out, because I want you to be with your family. Like when we were in,
I want you to be with your family. I'm happy it works out the way it's worked out, that I get to fuck you on the side, but I actually like you being with your family. She's probably double tapping pictures of him with his family on Instagram. Yo, this is some devious activities, bro. This is some devious, devilish activities. It's okay if you're with your family. I just want a piece of you too when you have some free time. I want some dick too. But I like you with your family. You got a beautiful family. Jesus Christ.
Early, and I kept saying that to you. I was like, why aren't you with your baby mom? Like, I'm not going to bother y'all, I promise. Because y'all was never going to stop fucking with each other anyway. That's why I just, like, kind of just fucked our shit up. Because she was acting crazy. She's always acting crazy. She be fighting people and everything, calling the flower shop looking for...
She's acting crazy. Imagine the gaslighting. You think Tori Brixx is acting crazy? Or is she just doing what a normal girl would do when she finds out or gets the feeling that her guy's cheating on her? She's acting crazy, man. The gaslighting is insane.
The address, like, I don't have time for that shit. I can't have a serious relationship with someone when they baby mama act like that. So I'm so glad that y'all are back.
I can't have a serious relationship with someone like that. I can't have a serious relationship with somebody who has a baby mother that acts like that. What about just not being with guys that have baby mothers in, especially ones that they're kind of involved with? That's probably one of the hardest things to do as a woman, right? To kind of decide, do you give the guy a chance who has a baby mom, but they're not together? Because, you know deep down that door's always open, right? I think that's the problem with having baby moms. Unless you're really broken up, but usually with guys, that door's always open. It's always slightly ajar. There's always an occasion where they can go and hook up on the sly or get together for a short period of time. So it's kind of a weird situation to be in as the new girl. But Jesus Christ, man, this is crazy work from Summer Walker. Especially when you think about the context of her music. The context of Summer Walker's music is essentially she makes music for the women that get done this way, right? She makes music for women like Tori Brixx, who are, with somebody long term, enrich the kid, have a baby together, are trying to sort out, basically make their relationship work. But there's a fucking hussy, there's a whore on the outside knocking on the fucking door, constantly distracting your guy, constantly sending your guy nudes, DMing him, texting him, blowing up his phone. She makes music for that woman who kind of has to endure all of that while still holding down the household, while still being a woman, while still trying to raise a child, while trying to make money, balance that, like that. She makes music for Tori Brixx, and she's doing what Like, it's just, you couldn't write it, right? The girl that's meant to be making music for women that are heartbroken, who get done dirty by dudes, is essentially doing another woman dirty. She's doing another woman dirty. What happened to the fucking girl thing? What happened to solidarity with women? Like, and you can maybe blame Rich the Kid in this situation, maybe, because obviously, you know, he probably, you know, he fell on top of her. Summer Walker, let's say, he slipped up and fell on top of her. But she's also making it very difficult for him to resist. She's really trying. She's really fucking trying to make sure that, you know, the door is slightly ajar for her too, to get her dick appointments. Wowzers.
I want y'all to be together forever, and I just want to fuck with you. You know, when you have time, we always have a good time. You treat me so good, I treat you so good, and I'm not gonna bother y'all. Like, you can buy me a fucking new phone, since you don't know the number, and save it under Pizza Hut for all I care. I'm not gonna post shit, nothing. So that's all I wanted to say. And I know that you're not gonna be weird or like out us or anything like that.
Out us. What an incredible situation to be in. Don't get me wrong, it's a headache, right? It's a headache because I think, by and large, I think if you're like, I don't know, I think dudes in general are just a bit strange. I think if you have a kid with somebody and you're trying to make that relationship work, you probably shouldn't really be stepping out, right? You probably shouldn't be out here cheating. So you probably should get that out of your system. You should be being a dad and trying to be the best quote unquote husband that you can be and stuff at home, and trying to make that work until it can't work. But still trying to play the field and be outside is a bit mad. But you have to also give Rich the Kid credit, because he's the one that leaked this. You know, he's the one that's probably sent this to the academics like, hey, this girl's doing too much. We maybe fucked once. I'm over it. Me and my girl spoke about it. We put this in the past. We dealt with it. She's forgiven me, but she keeps trying. You know what I mean? So this is pretty good. I mean, it also shatters her image off the back of the album that she just dropped. Everyone's loving. I haven't listened to the album yet, but everyone's really liking the album. But I don't know, man. It's a mad situation to be in all around. You know, embarrassing your lady. You got a kid with your lady. She's embarrassing herself. So everyone comes out of this looking pretty terrible. Everyone except for probably Tori Brixx, right, which is just the kid's baby mom, comes out of this looking pretty terrible. But it gets worse. It gets worse if you believe it. It gets worse. Summer Walker then obviously saw that she was going viral because that clip came out and people couldn't believe it, but obviously it's real. And then she got on Instagram and addressed it, essentially doubling down. No shame whatsoever, doubling down on the whole thing. And one thing I also noticed was really interesting was that her boobs look weird, didn't it? Her boobs look, I don't know how to describe them. Her boob, maybe because obviously I guess they're fake, I'm assuming, but they look very, I don't know, they look white. There's something about them. They just look strange. But anyway, regardless, this is Summer Walker doubling down on the whole affair. Pretty bad.
Let me move these big ass flowers. Your nigga just got me out the way. Excuse me. Hold on, let me sit them right here. That was probably the dumbest shit I ever seen anybody do. Not gonna cap. Because it was like no point.
Hold on. Wasn't the dumbest thing you recording the video in the first place? You recording the memo? Is she trying to say Rich the Kid did a dumb thing by sending that clip to academics? What about you doing what you did? Wasn't that kind of dumb? Because I don't think it does her image any favors. You know, I'm not gonna lie, because she's predominantly an artist that you would imagine most girls listen to. I'm not too sure it does her image any favors if girls now know that she's like you know, for lack of a better term, she's a homewrecker. I don't think it makes her look good. I'm not gonna lie.
That was probably the dumbest shit I ever seen anybody do. Not gonna cap. Because it was like no point. For what? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, for what? I'm not mad because I know that you're off in your mind. You're fried in your mind.
I love the gaslighting so much. How can you call someone yours fried? I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a clip? I don't see it now. I can't see the clip now, but there was a clip that allegedly said that she was giving Rich the Kid advice on how to cheat, and she was saying to him, "Hey, make sure you save me as Pizza Hut. Save me as Pizza Hut, so when I call you, your girlfriend won't get suspicious." Now everybody knows, by the way. Now it's been blown up. I think every girl now is going to keep an eye out for their guy if they have like Pizza Hut ringing them at fucking 2 a.m. in the morning. But Jesus Christ, man, like she was giving this guy advice on how to cheat, you know, because she still wanted to fucking be the side piece. Like, God damn it, man. Have some, I don't know, have some self-respect at least, you know. Forget even like, you know, not doing another woman dirty, but like have some self-respect, because you'd imagine this is not sending a good signal out there for other potential men that might be interested in Summer Walker. No one's really going to take her seriously. And then if she does date somebody and she gets done dirty and she starts crying on the internet, no one's going to really have any patience for it. No one's really going to take you. I mean, like, but in general, I think the worst thing about this is that men around the world now won't really want to take her seriously. It's really hard to take her seriously because, you know, not a lot of dudes are going to want to get with her anyway, despite what she looks like. She's got like 3 kids, I think, right? 3 kids, 2 baby fathers or something, or maybe 1. I'm not too sure, but still, I think she's got 3 kids. It's a lot. It's a lot of baggage. It's a lot. And also, again, having 3 kids and doing all this is a bit much too. I know she's a young woman and she's got her needs, but don't you have kids to raise? Like, why are you out here anyway? Like, you know what I mean? Linking man on the side. How do you have the time to do all this stuff?
So I can't expect anything less. But it's just like, for what? I don't have no shame. Let me start off there.
Jesus Christ.
I have no shame.
Jesus Christ.
I take nothing back, babe.
Jesus Christ.
I told everybody on Fuck My Type, I date for money now. Your man, he spends money. He spends money.
Again, I think she's capping. I think she's trying to make herself look good. But in that voice memo, that didn't sound like she was wanting him for money. That sounded like she liked him. She liked him. She enjoys what they do together. It didn't sound like she was just in it for the money. Yes, I'm sure Rich the Kid, you know, hence his name, has money and probably does spend it on her. But it sounded like she just enjoys spending time with him, you know, and she wants to do it more often, regardless of his relationship status. So I think she's trying to pull a fast one here to make herself look like, yeah, I'm getting something out of this. I'm getting back. So, are you though? Are you though?
Y'all are not married. I don't fuck with married men. Whenever I even thought there was a ring, I made sure there was no ring. There was no ring.
So if you're married, she's not fucking with you. But if you've got a baby mom that you're in a relationship with, then she's fucking you. Then it's all bets are off. I can't lie. She's a good girl, man. She's slightly a good girl, isn't it? It's kind of toxic. It's really bad, but she's slightly a good girl. If you're not married, then it's fair game still. You're still out there. You're still an option. I can still snag you. I can still snag you.
Tori, Brixx, we have seen videos of you fighting women, bloody, beating them bloody. We have seen
what's that got to do with anything?
Videos of Rich on Ring cameras, like he got someone pregnant.
So what's that got to do with you?
Time after time after time after time after time. I don't even have enough fingers for how many bitches that he cheats on you with on a daily basis.
So what? What's that got to do with you? What the fuck is she justifying here, man? This is some awful behavior, man. This stinks.
And you have no self-respect whatsoever.
Me?
And instead of taking that shit up with your man, you come at everybody else. But the source of the problem, I'm not your issue, babe. I've actually been advocating for you for a
Yo, this is crazy manipulative behavior. I'm not your issue. Yes, you are. You're sending my guy voice memos telling him how much you want to see him and stuff, knowing full well that I'm together with, you know, he's with that lady, Tori Brixx. I guess they're on and off all the time, but still, it's none of your business. Like, how are you not the problem? You're a big problem. You're a big distraction. Clearly, you've got 2 big distractions right in front of us.
A long time. Like, even in the voice memo, you heard me say I've been advocating for you for a long time. Like, I always tell him, I'll be like, y'all so perfect together. Why you just want to be with her? I see it all the time. Like, I talk big of you. I talk good of you all the time. I'll be like, you don't want to be with her.
Just after she's finished fucking after she's finished fucking, you know, giving Rich the Kid insane fellatio, right? After she's finishing fucking bouncing up and down this guy's midsection, she's like, yeah, you should really stay with your what? That's meant to make you feel good. That's meant to make Tory Brixx feel good. That's meant to make her feel fucking, you know, proud, seen, acknowledged, lifted up. I don't know, man. This is fucking horrible behavior, man. Come on, Summer Walker, man. You should be better than this.
The mother of your children, she's this, she's that, she's helped you down. I talk good about you all the time. Why are you always messing with me? And that's what I don't like. Like, I feel like it's because I'm famous and your career's not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. You just sit up in the house bored, going through his phone all day, losing your mind. Going through his phone, calling every bitch that's in his phone, trying to fight every bitch up in his phone. But I feel like you only try to do it your biggest with me. Why? Because I'm famous? You, like, are you trying to get something? You finna drop a link? I hope you finna drop a link. Please, y'all, if she finna drop a link, go buy her stuff. Mama, she needed like a little push, a little promo. Because that was just stupid. You know I've been fucking with that man for years. Everybody been fucking with him for years. He be fucking with everybody. So what's the problem? Like, what? Like, wow. You're never gonna leave. You're never gonna leave. It comes to a point where it has to be like a certain level of disrespect that you have got to come to. I'd be like, all right, this is it. This nigga can do anything to you. So if you're not gonna leave and he's gonna keep cracking that wallet wide fucking open, then can't we all just get along?
It's pure toxicity there. Pure and utter toxicity on display. There from Summer Walker, nice to see. And then there's a caption here that she puts up, I guess with a text that says, this woman has literally been harassing me for like 2 years, asking to hang and link up, etc. She even went as far as trying to insinuate that she was around my child when she wasn't. Summer was around Rich one day and he accidentally left my son's backpack. As a mother who don't post the face of her child, get upset at their baby daddy for posting them to protect their wife. Wow. Your Summer Walker's an evil lady. So Summer Walker took a picture of Rich the Kid's backpack that he left in the car and sent it to her. Baby D bag. I'm finna send it to Tori. Oh no, I guess not. I guess he sent it. Jesus Christ. Why is he coming? Why is she coming at me though? LMAO. When I dig in your shit, don't play victim. We are engaged and you know that. It was my choice to not get married because Rich and I had a few hiccups and I knew we had a few things we needed to work on as a family. I'm not in a rush to get married and then have to get a divorce. But what do I do with my man is my household is none of your business, Pizza Hut. Exactly. Calling her Pizza Hut's hilarious, by the way. Put a little Pizza Hut sticker there too. Yeah, just horrible behavior from everybody involved. And then I think the last post regarding this is this series of captions where allegedly, I think Summer Walker's trolling herself, but allegedly it looks like somebody sent Summer Walker a bunch of Pizza Hut. People are saying it was Tori Brixx, but I'm thinking Summer Walker just ordered it herself to kind of troll and make fun of this whole thing and use the moment as a fun moment. So she posted this caption in front of a picture with loads of Pizza Hut boxes that says, so he harassed me off free text app while I was in the club last night having a time, not even thinking about you, and now sending pieces to my house after telling me. Whenever someone says I'm not thinking about you, they're definitely thinking about you, by the way. So it's giving restraining order, like you're literally having a psychotic break over a man who literally is obsessed with me and 14 other women. Like, I really can't figure out your issue with me specifically. Instead of taking it up with him, I gave him back yesterday, babe. Now you're dragging it. Like, I'm really over this internet stuff, but I'm gonna put this here for the whole world to police to see in case you really decide to lose your mind. Don't send nothing else to my house, crazy ass girl. Go harass the rest of the women he messed with now. You was posting stuff from 2023 and decided to start randomly harassing me publicly 3 years later. Like, really, what's the point? This is why I want to be the side. Why would I ever want to be the main? Imagine proudly saying that. I want to be the side. Look at your wife. Look at your life. This must be so stressful for you, up every night, going through the man phone, finding a new bitch every week to embarrass you. Sad, very sad life to live. I think everyone in this situation is sad except for Rich the Kid. This will be the last time I ever address you because it's a new day and I don't want to get that man. He don't run this ship tight enough for me. I repeat, don't send nothing else to my house where the kids lay their head. Yeah, I don't know, man. Bullshit activities, everybody involved. Everybody comes out of this looking like absolute doo-doo. Very sad situation involved, more so for Summer Walker, because she's meant to be like a, I won't say like a women's activist, but she's meant to be for the girls, you know. So it's a little bit shitty behavior involved, but what a dream lifestyle, you know. What a dream situation for a dude having a side chick like this that's really enthusiastic about being one and is giving you tactics on how to avoid getting caught. Absolutely insane, treacherous way, fraught with fucking landmines and shit. But God almighty, man, if you're into that sort of stuff, then you know it can be fun, I guess. If you're into that sort of stuff, it can be fun, I guess. If you're into that, so it can be fun, I guess. But yeah, here we are, man. Here we bloody are. Big up the stream chatters, what are you guys saying here? Oh, yo, big up Unix, I just saw you, by the way. Acknowledge me, you know, that's fucking crazy. Big up Unix, man. You get enough acknowledgement as it is, brother. You're popping out here. You don't need my acknowledgement, but big up Unix, brother. Big up Unix in the stream chat. Absolute legend when it comes to stand-up comedy clips and stuff. Make sure you check him out. Big up 7 Dirty. Peter is crazy. Big up Rick MB, bro. What's the point of having live life if you're not going to interact with the chat? True. Apologies, Rick. Big up Rick again. Have a hood ratchet chick as a side piece isn't a flex. Yeah. You're probably right, because she's quite crazy. I think it's fairly obvious to see Summer Walker's quite unhinged. So maybe Rick is right. Maybe having a hood chick like Summer Walker as a side piece isn't the best decision you could make, because when she goes crazy, she's gonna go crazy, you know. And as we saw just now, right, she's now talking what she's talking. She probably bought herself those pizza boxes as well, those Pizza Hut boxes, trying to make it seem like Tori Brixx sent them. It's just weird. She's a bit all over the place. So you're probably right in that respect. Big up Don Dotter is also in the stream chat. Big up Space Guy. Big up 7 Dirty, sorry, no Space Guy. Peace, that's a crazy name. Big up Rick and B. Reminds me of those guys who put on recorded video as a live bit. 7 Dirty as well. What he's saying here, maybe I'm getting old, but it seems like such immature. Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's an age thing. I think the younger you are, the funner stuff like this is, right? But I just think it's a headache. I think if you're gonna do this stuff, you might just be single, you know. Like, there's no point of all doing all this. Like, it's already weird anyway having these long. And I know some guys that do this where I know some guys are really toxic, where if they've cheated a bunch and they want to keep their woman and want to make sure she doesn't leave, they propose. And I guess the proposal is like a way for them to kind of say, look, I'm serious. I want to turn a new leaf. I want to leave this life of being a fucking deadbeat and a shitty dude to the side. I don't want to be a serial cheater anymore. But then also, if you're the girl, you're not going to trust him. You're going to be a little bit skeptical about it, and you're going to want to delay the wedding until you're really sure. And that's also a danger, right? Being like perpetually engaged. That's also going to be a bad thing. So yeah, all in all, I think everyone just needs to grow up. Across the board, everyone needs to grow up. Summer Walker needs to focus on her kids and her career. She needs to stop messing with other women's men and shit. Especially if she's making music talking about pain and heartbreak and betrayal. It's like, brother, sister, sorry, you're betraying somebody else in the worst way possible. Yes, Rich the Kid is probably not helping the situation because he's probably got bad impulse control. But still, you're exasperating the situation. You're not helping. Like, just leave everybody alone, you know? Leave everybody alone, mind your business in your own household and go from there. But, you know, I guess those things are easier said than done. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about Chris Black. Big up Chris Black. Chris Black, one of the co-hosts of How Long Gone, a podcast I listen to quite often. One of my favorite ones actually out there. He spoke on a podcast called Semaphore. And I think this was last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was last year, right? Was it last year? No, okay, it's this year. My bad. I thought it was a long time ago. Well, in the middle of this year, he went on a podcast for Semaphore, and he had some very scathing views about Substack, which I think, you know, broke the internet, or broke my side of the internet at least. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about it, because Substack is obviously a big platform that a lot of people make money on. There's a big community and a scene behind it. They've recently got a lot of investment. They're pushing themselves in order to get people signed on there. They've got a lot of big writers. Recently, Charlie XCX has started writing a few Substack, which I'm sure is not a coincidence, by the way. But Charlie XCX has been writing a few blogs and long form pieces and stuff. So Substack has become this whole thing, right? This whole ecosystem, this whole platform that people who write and enjoy writing, and people who enjoy reading these articles and shit can go and follow newsletters and whatever they may be. I think there's one newsletter that I used to be subscribed to. I think I pay money for, which is First Floor. I forgot the guy's name. I forgot the guy's name, but he does like a lot of dance music stuff essentially. Talking about, you know, stuff within the culture when it comes to politics and DJs and whatever. Maybe he's really good, but that's about it for the most part. I don't really pay for a lot of Substacks, but it's a big deal. But anyway, Chris Black had a lot of things to say about Substack, and the primary criticism he had around Substack is it not being cool. Now, don't take everything he says at face value, because he's a bit of a contrarian, right? He enjoys just going against the grain for the sake of going against the grain, because it's kind of fun sometimes. But I do think he's kind of right with what he's saying. There is a aspect of Substack being a little bit lame, you know, in the same way that Patreon is kind of lame, you know, in the same way admitting you're a DJ is kind of lame, in the same way as talking about your up and coming art exhibition or your club night, you know. It's just a bit lame. It's okay, you're doing well with it and it's making you money and it's, you know, it's touching a lot of people are getting a lot out of it, but there's no denying that if you would confess to somebody that you make your money by writing Substacks, you know, you're gonna feel a little bit cringe. You're gonna feel a little bit of bile, a little bit of fucking vomit coming up from the back of your throat, you know. But anyway, this is Substack. This is Chris on Substack.
Creativity, but also understand there's a bottom line, and we got to remember that keeps us all here.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the reasons that we're excited to talk to you is because you think a lot, I think, about taste and kind of about taste.
Yo, big up Rick. Was that big up Rick MB in the stream chat? I always meant to ask you, did you get your name from Joey Diaz? Of course not, Joey Diaz. I got my name from the former president of Angola. His name was Agostinho Neto. And there's also a really famous Portuguese cyclist as well, who my dad was kind of obsessed with as well. I forgot his name, but he used to do Tour de France. So my name is from the former Angolan president called Agostinho Neto, and a very famous old fucking cyclist from like the 60s and shit, who's also called Agostinho. Nothing to do with D'Agostino. That D'Agostino is another comedian guy who's friends with Joey Diaz.
Taste making, and that's something, I mean, we're in this funny moment, I think, where the internet has obviously for decades now really like democratized these questions that used to be, you know, decided at Condé Nast headquarters, and people take more cues from influencers, random people on TikTok, than from, you know, the sort of official arbiters of taste. And I'm curious, like, how that process, which basically is, and in some sense, your whole career, has changed how you think about what's cool and interesting, and kind of the advice you give clients.
I mean, I think the more saturated it gets, the easier it is in some ways. You know, I think there's just there's just too much. You know, there's too much. There's too many pains. I famously, to the detriment of my bank account, respect the institutions quite a lot. You know, like I do a weekly column at GQ, and I could go do that on Substack and make a lot of money, but I don't think Substack is cool. I think it serves a purpose. I subscribe to a lot of them.
Are institutions cool again, or is it that they never stop being cool?
That's the thing I don't agree with him to. I agree that maybe Substack isn't cool. Maybe I'd say WordPress is cooler than a Substack, right? Having a WordPress is way cooler. Having even maybe just a direct email newsletter that some people have, right, where they write in like rich text formats and it gets sent to people's inboxes. That's maybe kind of cool. Or having one of those old school fucking blogs like Paul Graham has. That's kind of cool. Or doing like, you know, daily tweet blog things on Twitter like Naval, Ravikant, whatever he's naming. That's kind of cool. But then I don't think institutions are that cool. I think him thinking he's cool because he writes for GQ or he has a column on GQ, it's not as cool as you think it is. It's a bit naff as well. Having a column on GQ is a little bit lame in itself. I'm not going to lie. Having a column in GQ, maybe even writing for the New York Times, you know, writing for the New York Post, writing for Variety, The Cut. It's a bit lame, you know. It's a bit fucking lame across the board. It just is the nature of the beast. I don't think you should, like, having a career as a writer and writing on Substack is great. But I don't think you shouldn't be entitled to it being cool either. I think it's a good thing that you're able to make a living doing that sort of stuff, but you're not entitled to it to be a cool job. If you want a cool job, get a cool job. But writing on your Substack and promoting it and having tiers and stuff and hyperlinks on your Instagram page, just always having a link tree, like I have one. I have all these things and it's not cool. I think I'm very aware of that. And I think acknowing that thing, acknowledging that Substack isn't cool, actually makes it cool, weirdly enough.
Institutions never stop being cool. I mean, I think we're seeing this a little bit with the Graydon Carter memoir and this new Condé Nast book that's come. People are like, this shit is cool. Like, obviously it's changed, you know.
I don't think so. I think people are reading those books because they're interesting. It's interesting to get an insight into Airmail, Graydon Carter stuff, whatever. Interesting into getting an insight behind the scenes into Condé Nast. But I don't think they're reading them because they want to work for Condé Nast or because they think Condé Nast is cool or that airmail was cool intrinsically. They're interested to know what happened behind the scenes, how that person got from where he was at to founding that thing, the pitfalls, the successes, But I could be wrong.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a car service and a $400,000 a year, contract for 4 stories, but it's still, there's just some glamour attached to it where I think there's no glamour attached to a lot of the shit that's happening online. And that's something that and that's similar with How Long Gone. Like, we are we don't want to be beholden to the listener. Like, I don't want Patreon to own me. You know, we're very consistent, but we put that podcast out 3 times a week because we want to, and we have advertisers that want to get in bed with us and our ads sell out. And
that's one thing I hate about How Long Gone, the adverts. Oh my God. They get your money. I'm happy for them to make it, whatever. They've lined in their pockets, but the ads on How Long Gone are brutal. I also think I think he's framing it wrong. I don't think when you have a Patreon, you're beholden to your Patreonies, as Joe Biden would call them. You're just creating extra content for people that give a fuck enough to give you extra money. I don't really think it's beholden to them. I think that's the wrong way to frame it. It's almost as if it's almost as if he's work shy in a way, you know? You really deep down, he probably just doesn't want to work. He probably would rather be able to just exist being a quote unquote cool guy and get paid that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to at least put something out. You have to at least feed an audience, right? Provide entertainment for some people, surprise and delight some people. And I think surprising and delighting people by creating extra content on Patreon doesn't necessarily mean you're beholden to them. wouldn't think so. Maybe there are some people that view it that way who probably are kind of always looking at their notifications, checking how many people have unsubscribed, cancelled, or signed up and stuff, whatever. But I think most people use things like Patreon as just another way to kind of give back to their fans, as another way to create more content, as another way to create content they probably could have put out elsewhere. Like for me personally, there's stuff that I can't do on YouTube that I can only do on Patreon, because stuff on YouTube will get blocked or get copyright strikes. I think that's the way to kind of go about viewing it. It's not necessarily a bad thing personally, but I could be wrong.
And that's our business. And we're working on TV and video, all this other stuff. But like, the reality is that, again, we could make a lot more money if we were doing a paywall of some kind. But for whatever reason, it doesn't speak to me.
It's funny. We had
I think the Substack thing is less about it being more. I think they've just changed how people interact with. I guess maybe it kind of piggybacks off of what people do now with like newspapers and stuff, right? Or news sites. Most news sites have a subscription model where you pay a certain amount a month to get access to all of their fucking articles. So I think they've just kind of piggybacked off that by essentially saying, hey, I know you got a WordPress or a blogspot, but what about if we put it on Substack? People would be willing to pay to kind of listen to your opinions or whatever. And I think it's kind of a good idea, because you don't have to make your entire thing paid. You can make certain posts paid, right? Which I quite like. And obviously, you know, obviously the money that goes directly to the writers, and it kind of allows them to keep on doing interesting things. Because I think a lot of writers kind of feel as if probably they do write about shitty stuff, or they write about things they're not interested in to pay the bills. But if you're able to have a Substack where your fans who like your writing can support your writing, so that you can continue doing stuff that you actually like, or you can actually write about things you actually enjoy or you're interested in, which is going to serve you, it's going to soothe your spirit, it's going to kind of, you know, feed you, and it's also going to feed your audience. So I don't know. I don't see it as like this ultra bad thing overall. I get it's not cool, but I don't think it's that bad.
Emma on the show last season who was saying that she really sees her job as like being totally dialed into TikTok, and then when something goes viral on TikTok, being the first brand to kind of like get in that creator's ear and associate with them. And I think that is a big culture right now in the ad business. Do you think that's like totally misguided?
I mean, I think it depends on the brand. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If that's the game you're in, then it can probably work. But I think the issue that arises is a lot of people that aren't in that game think they need to be. You know, and I've had meetings about like TikTok strategy. And I'm like, why are you talking to me? I'm 42 years old. I don't use TikTok. Like, let's bring in the 23-year-olds that work at this company and talk to them about it. Like, that's where the information is. You can't. There's a certain age threshold for stuff like that where it's like you have to entrust it into the younger generation, because that is their thing. That's what they've given us, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that is where some of the mistakes happen.
Fair play. Anyway, he said this, and obviously people went crazy. They weren't too happy about it. I don't know if they said something in the comments. Let me check. Nothing much in the comments, but he did write an article sort of like, you know, clarifying his opinion of what he actually meant about Substack not being cool. So this is Chris Black. The title of the article is "What I Meant When I Said Substack Isn't Cool." I think that's a founder of Substack there, right? Smiling. I'm pretty that's a founder there. Let's see how he cops some please. Tries to explain himself here. Substack, the newsletter platform that allows everyone everyone is he's already subtweeting, by the way. He's already subtweeting to deploy their innermost thoughts and ramblings to a list of theoretically paying subscribers has really been in the news more than usual lately. The word Substack has, for all intents and purposes, replaced newsletter in certain circles. An impressive feat for a relatively new brand. A while back on Semaphore's Mixed Signals podcast, I said Substack wasn't cool, and people had feelings about it. A lot of feelings. They also missed the point. Substack is cool. Substack is a tool. Like Google or ChatGPT, it's infrastructure, not culture, no matter how badly it wants to cosplay as something more. But is it cosplaying or is it actually a culture? Like people are actually, you know, people are changing their lives with a Substack. People are making connections with Substack. They're reaching new audiences. They're getting exposed to different stories through recommendations and stuff. It can be a culture too, no? It's happening organically, I'd imagine, most of it. The company is obviously acknowledging it and kind of highlighting it, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Anyway, and to be clear, I'm not anti-newsletter. You are reading mine right now, and I read plenty of them. The ones that actually stick with me, like Feed Me, Magazine, A Small and Simple Thing, and have a real point of view, and more importantly, a reason to exist. They're smart, practical, and don't waste your time. On Sunday, Tina Brown, one of the greats, spoke of the platform in a much discussed interview with the New York Times magazine. In the same Sunday paper, Matt Belloni from Puck was profiled, and when asked about compensation and stock, he has 1% in Puck. He said, "It's safe to say I could make a lot more money if I were independent, at least in the short term," he said, "but I don't know. I don't want to be on Substack." Okay. Do I want to be on Substack? Okay, I want to hear what did this lady have to say? What did she have to say? I'm interested to see what she had to say in the New York Times. What was her opinion? What she say about Substack? Let's see. For now, she's now brought her. So what's this lady's name? Tina Brown. So she's now brought her stinging analysis of politics and culture to Substack with her deeply enjoyable and dishy newsletter, Fresh Hell. Recent headlines include the inside story of how King Charles pulled the plug on Andrew and why Murdoch doesn't give a toss about Trump. Brown's ability to reinvent herself again and again without losing her sensibility is something I've long admired. And at the time when there's so much change and uncertainty in our media and politics, I thought it'd be grounding and fun to sit down with somebody who has a long view and lots of stories. And Brown 71 did not disappoint. Okay, let's see what you say about Substack. Sometimes when something happens, she says here, when I hit the keyboard and because I'm writing this Substack, I'm in a different zone. I'm in my diary. I am my diary self, sorry. I don't feel I have to restrain anymore, which is very exciting to me as a writer. I think of myself in the third trimester of my life rather than the age that I am. I feel liberated, and it's great not to be in charge of lots of people either, because I don't have to worry, well, what happens if I want that person to advertise or if I want to put that person on the cover? I can just let it rip. I think it's needed because there's so much pussyfooting and mellow and mealy mouthing that's going on in writing in the last 10 years. Okay, cool. She's very enthusiastic about Substack, it seems. When I've got my 1,000 Substack things, I'm reading social media, I'm reading old guard stuff, but my head is exploding. Unfortunately, what's with leading to a lot of people checking out, so it's very demoralizing. I've always been asked by young people, how do I get into journalism? Often I say go to India because in India has a very vibrant literary culture. I didn't know that. Okay. We should say your Substack has been reprinted and free. It has. I'm admired actually. Okay, cool. So she has some nice things to say about Substack. I didn't think she was negative there, this lady, Tina Brown. Let's continue. When my How Long Gone co-host Jason Stewart and I probed Stephen Colbert on GQ Men of the Year Red Carpet about what he would be doing post late night, he made sure to let us know that he would not be joining Substack. Ryan Lizzer uses Substack to paywall the final chapter of a scandalous tell-all post about his ex-girlfriend Olivia Nunzi. The cliffhanger was so good he almost got my $5. A few Substack employees who were responsible for this takeover of cool coastal media left this week to launch an AI startup curiously named Every. is the bloom of the rose. In the other corner, we have Patreon, the first move in the digital panhandling. That's a thing though, man. Like, I like How Long Gone, but I'd rather they digitally panhandle than have as many ads that they have. I fucking detest. Maybe it's different because I'm from the UK and not from the US, but I fucking hate adverts. I hate adverts, man. I hate adverts. I'd rather have a Patreon. I'd rather have a Substack and stuff than have a blog that's like broken up with like adverts every couple of fucking paragraphs, or a video that's like littered in adverts that you can't fucking skip. I think adverts are so antithetical to enjoying a fucking article. Do you know what I mean? It really, like, I've never seen an advert that I've liked, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? Never seen an advert that I've liked, that I've enjoyed. It's always kind of ruined the listening experience, the reading experience. They're fucking awful. So if you're able to communicate directly to your audience and they have to pay you $5 or something a month to get access to the stuff, and you don't get crazy ads, and you help to, and you're gonna, you know, the money that you're giving kind of encourages the writers to continue writing what they're writing at that level, I don't see a bad thing about it personally. I fucking hate the ads, honestly. I hate the ads. And that's the thing, I hate ads so much, it kind of shows you how good their podcast is, because I still listen. But when they come on and they're fucking, and it's like doubled, it's like there's an ad break and there's like 2, and then another ad break and there's like 2. It's like, fucking hell. I think there's a couple episodes where they, like, even before the jingle, there's an advert before the jingle. I know it's probably a lot of money for that placement, and he said already all their ads always sell out, but God almighty, man, think about the audience, think about the listeners. Well, somebody think about the children. In other news, we have Patreon, the first move in the digital panhandling space, he says, which is now playing catch up, because from where I sit, Substack is eating their lunch. They are smartly offering guaranteed cash deals to lure people to their service. When I talk to popular Substack publishers about their business, most point to the algorithm and the community as essential selling points. It def ain't the design capabilities. If you get a little push from the powers that be, your numbers skyrocket. It's a win for everybody. The recommendations from other newsletters keep people on the platform for longer. Some posts I see have hundreds of comments, people hanging out, going back and forth like it's the late 90s chat room. They have continued to introduce features like notes, pushing the entire platform towards becoming just another social media. But I wouldn't say that, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think I gained so much from being in the comments of certain fucking sites and shit, meeting different people, getting recommendations, getting put on different things. I don't think it's a bad thing. It continues. My argument to creators is always, why don't you spend a little money on a developer? Build your own. Who's gonna, come on, Chris Black, who's gonna do that? He doesn't even do that, you know? What the fuck's he talking about? Come on, bro. You want people to build a site, to go HTML with it, to fucking vibe code the whole entire site with it, and insert a payment processor in it so they can do it on their own. That's even lamer, really, to be fair. If you're gonna write your words and you want people to pay you for writing your words, you're better off just doing the plug and play thing and just leaving it there, making it simple. People know what a Substack is, they know, you know what I mean, they're used to all that shit. Building your own site from the ground up, like to write, allow it. Why don't you spend a little money on a developer, build your own bespoke payment system, end up with something that looks great and works this way? I don't think Substack look bad. The only thing I don't like about a Substack is that fucking pop-up where you have to kind of subscribe, that takes up the entire fucking screen. But for the most part, it's fairly customizable. You can make them very unique. Yeah, I mean, unique to yourself. Like, I don't see what's bad about the Substack UI, UX. It doesn't look that shabby. Maybe it's not as, like, you know, pleasing to the eye as like a WordPress, but I don't think they're that bad. But no one wants to give up the recommended subscriber boost to go truly in the. Oh, is that what he's saying? That most people are on most people like Substack because of that recommended subscriber thing. Maybe they have. Maybe I don't know. I've not really seen it. I'm the kind of person that subscribes to Substacks individually. I don't necessarily check the recommended or give a shit about that. You know what I mean? If I hear about Substack that I'm interested in, I subscribe to it. You get sent email alerts. Check just how I usually check up on them. They send email alerts whenever the person posts something new, and then you can decide there and then if you want to subscribe and pay for it or just read the first couple of paragraphs are free. Not that deep really to me. But when people pay you directly to write, demanding that you mix it up in the comments and let them have mitigated direct access, you know you're in trouble. That's not true though. You don't need to listen to that. Those comments happened when you had a blogspot or a fucking WordPress. Same thing happened. You had people in the comments demanding or requesting you write certain things or do certain things or recommend. I mean, you don't need to listen. You could just still write what you want to write. You don't have to take their considerations or their instructions or their directions on. I don't think so. Anyway, the shift to social the shift to social could cause issues because don't we have enough of that already? It's sort of an antithesis of the newsletter, which is a direct dispatch to the inbox, no room for debate or unnecessary feedback. No, but that's not true. You kind of want it to be a bit of a blog. It's a newsletter, but it's also a mix of a blog. I feel that's what makes it interesting. Substack. That's where you get the community. It's like a newsletter, but it's also got like blog elements, so you can leave comments. Not having the comment section wouldn't make any sense, but I don't think having comments makes it a social media app. It just makes it a place where you can kind of directly comment on the post. What would you prefer? People commenting on the Substack via the Instagram comments of the screenshot that you took? I think that's kind of lame. That's kind of disconnected to the site itself, you know? Unless you're posting the whole entire article in the slides, which is also a bit lame too. But hey, what do I know? It continues but to be fair as well, Chris Black is kind of weird. I think they're both, well, Chris Black in particular, I think Jason always talks about DMing fans back and stuff. I think Chris Black is from that generation of seen people who don't like feedback, who don't like to communicate with fans and stuff, would rather just do their thing and be left alone, you know. They did, I wouldn't say I think deep down he probably does think less of the fans, you know. He doesn't really respect their opinion, doesn't think they're necessarily cool, have anything insightful to say. It's like, look, my purpose is like to serve you cool shit, your purpose is to listen to it or not, but that's it. Which I think is a bit of a weird dynamic to have, really, you know. You can still acknowledge their presence without letting them, you know, essentially tell you what to do. But hey, what do I know? When legacy magazines launch print magazines, he says, funded by Substack, I get confused. When legacy magazines launch print magazines funded by Substack, did that actually happen? When did that happen? This article, what? Legacy magazines fund print what? When did this happen? Why print magazines will never die? Really? Let's see this. Substack. When did that happen? Okay. When Legacy magazine launched print magazines funded by. Okay, cool. That's still kind of cool though, no? Because essentially a Substack is a newsletter that could be described as like a digital zine. So if they're deciding to go into the print magazine side of things, it's just another way to kind of get the content to people. So you can get it to them in a tactile form. It kind of reminds me back in the day when I used to be obsessed with like Purple magazine. I forgot the guy's name. I think it's Andre something. The guy's name. Oh no, Oliver something, right? Olivier something. I forgot. Anyway, whatever. I used to love Purple magazine. They used to make some really cool articles, really cool interviews. Back in the day, because at that time I don't think I had a smartphone, so I would print the interviews out on paper, staple them together, and then read them on the way home, or read them during my lunch break when I was having lunch and shit. You know, that's how I consume all those things. So this is probably another version of doing that. Like, hey, we want to get this Substack to you, this newsletter. If you don't want to read it on your phone or on your computer, because sometimes again it's not the most enjoyable thing to do. Personally, I prefer to read articles on my phone. I find that way more enjoyable than reading them on a desktop or on my laptop. But yeah, I don't see the bad thing. It's just another way to get the fucking content to the people, just to kind of mix things up a little bit. Maybe harken back to days of old when you did have tactile print sort of like magazines and shit. It's not a bad thing, I don't think. It's a bit, it's a bit naff kinda in a way, but I'm alright with it. When every written word is only available a la carte, it feels like a full-time job trying to find what you like. It's streaming via cable all over again. We're paying only for the voices we want to hear, but sometimes I want to discover a writer or a story I wasn't looking for. In fact, that is the whole point. A good editorial staff, people who've spent actual years developing taste, can pull you into something unexpected. Finding a beautifully written story by accident feels rare now, and it's a reminder of why editors matter. It's an antidote to the hours of TikTok, get ready with me purgatory, or falling into some YouTube conspiracy vortex, when every moment of discovery is algorithmic. Even when the information is technically good, we lose joy of being surprised. Yeah, that's true, but that's across the board though, isn't it? I think even on YouTube it's like that. You rarely find really cool, interesting recommended videos that are outside of your field of interest. Everything's usually, recommended to you because of stuff that you've liked and you've viewed previously. There are sometimes it can happen, you can get a surprise, but I think that's across the board. I think, maybe the way to find that is to maybe have a good feed on social, a good For You page, a good just followers list in general. And those people can recommend things, and you can kind of stumble, because sometimes I do that too. I stumble across articles that way, or I check out, what's that site I use sometimes? Valet Magazine have a really good morning report where they post really interesting links every day that you can kind of check out. There's loads of cool article arbitrators out there that you can kind of check, that you can kind of get that stuff from. But I think overall the hate for Substack is a bit overblown. Personally, I would say I think the hate for Substack is a bit overblown. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bloody bad. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. One thing I know that's kind of funny is this beef between Hidden and Ian Connor. Have you guys seen this? Hidden NY and Ian Connor having some sort of beef, some sort of issue. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it kind of stems from Ian Connor launching or releasing those really cool hiking shoes, those hiking sneakers, and I think he was trying to get them featured on Hidden NY's Instagram for whatever reason. And Hidden NY decided to give him the fucking middle finger, which I love, by the way. I'm not the biggest fan of Hidden NY page. I think it's a bit lame. I think it's a little bit repetitive. I think it's like a little bit corny. It's not very original. You know, I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but I have to admit though, his latest collaborations have kind of impressed me. The earlier stuff wasn't that great. I think the early needle stuff he's done, but over the time, over years, I think he's been knocking out the collaborations. I think the A6, I don't think he's made a bad A6 yet. Even the latest one that people are fobbing on, don't lie, I don't think he's made a bad A6 yet. And I think the clothing is getting better. And I think the last thing I saw actually from him was the UGG. I kind of like the UGG, I'm not going to lie. I think the UGG bit was fairly decent. So big up the Hidden NY guy. He's sticking with it. I know he gets a little hate online. People don't necessarily like him and stuff, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at what he's doing over there, and I'm also not mad at this kind of combative spirit that he has online. But it also makes me wonder, is Ian Connor selling as many of these sneakers as he's making it seem as? Because I quite like them. I like the new Ian Connor shoes, right? He's got these fucking what are they called? He's got these like shoes. Let's see if I can find a picture. He's got these hiking shoes. They're kind of inspired by Nike ACG, I think. I forgot the model. That's what they're clearly inspired by. These ones, right? I think I definitely get the yellow pair. I think the yellow pair are stand out for me. The blue pair are really nice too. That's the pair that Kanye wore a while back. Maybe it was one of the first sort of like models that he kind of put out there. But I really like the shoe. He fucking killed it with the shoe. I'm not gonna lie, he fucking killed it. And I like that he sent them. He's kind of seeded them to a bunch of baddies. That's kind of his brand anyway, right? He likes kind of like hot IG girls. But I like the fact that he, instead of seeding them to a lot of like cool sneakerheads, guys and stuff, he seeded them mostly to girls. From what I've seen. Mostly girls have got these for free. It's fucking funny, to be fair. Interesting seeding category or tactic. Instead of sending them to fucking, you know, sneakerheads or whatever, you send them all out to IG baddies like this, right?
Unbox Ian Connor's new Sicko hiking sneakers with me. The first colorway that I have is the lightning yellow.
The first colorway, you know, by the way. Big up Ian Connor. Not even sending one pair, sending 4. The first colorway. I love that. The first colorway is fucking brilliant.
I have sizes, so I got a size 5 US.
Yo, big up T Godra in the stream chat too. Big up T Godra in the stream chat. I appreciate you.
This is the lightning yellow color. And this is the
yeah, that yellow is really nice.
Right here. When you walk on it, it feels like clouds. Very, very soft. I did wear 2 pairs already. Additional shoelaces to go with them as well, as you can tell the difference.
Yeah, the hiking laces are the best.
The colorway is called Storm Gray, also a size 5.
Probably my least favorite pair, the Storm Gray. Not the biggest fan of those.
Cute, goes with literally everything.
I think if I was being a little bit critical of the design, I'd say I'd want the sole to be a little bit thicker. You know, I'd say I want the sole to be a little bit thicker. So I'm not too fond of the grays though.
Everything black shoelaces, and it comes with the
yeah. The hiking laces are the ones. Oh, is that a vibrant sole? Ooh, I didn't know the sole was vibrant. Nice.
Bottom size. This is actually one of my favorite colorways for this collection. I already wore this the other day with my outfit.
Oh yeah, to be fair, these are quite nice. This is like the bread colorway, right? Black and red, but with some grays in it. That's not bad. Replace with the hiking laces, by the way. Yeah, the red hiking laces on those is going to be hard. You should definitely replace them with the hiking laces.
Two laces to go with this colorway as well. I think I'm going to switch this for my next outfit for sure. Lastly, for the haul, guys, we have the nitrous blue. Yeah, I am actually very excited to put together an outfit with this.
Yeah, I'd probably say the best colorways probably go yellow, blue, that bread colorway, and then the gray one. But the yellow and blue is definitely the standouts. Yeah, that blue is hard. That black and blue is hard. That's a really good color makeup, especially with the blue and the different application of the black materials. I think that's a nubuck on the body here, and that might be a leather. I'm not too sure, but I like how, because they're different, you know, different materials, they come up different in terms of color, so it kind of gives it a different sort of like shade. And then you put them, I'm guessing it's going to be blue hiking laces, You have to put the hiking laces on there. The one with the speckled pattern on it. You have to put the hiking laces. I think the plain laces are all right, but the hiking laces give it that little bit of a outdoor pop.
This is super cute, y'all. My sister actually already wore this when I had my red ones on. Here it is. So let's get into the detailing while we're ending this haul, guys. Right here it says Sicko. On the tongue it says Born in Pain. Shout out to Ian Connor for all.
Yeah, big up Ian Connor, man. He's killing it. But I'm wondering, is he killing as much as he says? Because he does post sometimes, you know, little flexes about how much money he's made from them, and he's collected a band. I think recently he said something about, oh, I've made like 300 grand in a month or something, blah, 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 blah. But I'm wondering, is he making as much money as he says he is? Because why would you be going back and forth with Hidden on the DMs, you know? Because he's not posting your stuff. Because I guess he wants Hidden to post his stuff on their page because it's going to get them loads more views. It might get them extra sales. But if you're making as much money as Ian Connor claims he's making, why would you be bothering some Instagram page, you know? I wonder what's going on there. Someone's not telling the truth. Or maybe he just wants more sales, isn't it? It's not really a thing about, I'm not selling enough, I'd rather not get them more. Because I'd imagine, I don't know if that guy, I don't know, I don't really follow a lot of pages, but I wonder, what was the other big one? Is it like Jupiter, right? Some guy called Jupiter, he was kind of big. Big up my guy, Cake Not, was it Crumb Not Cakes or Cake Not Crumbs? He does good stuff as well. But I guess these pages are quite important. They get sales. But I think if that was him, if I was him, I would rather just pay for it instead of DMing the guy and getting him to be my friend and asking him for a favor. If they have a service where they just pay, you pay for a spot on the fucking feed, just do that. So it avoids all this fucking back and forth. It avoids all the issues because he's not going to say no to your money, is it? I wouldn't think so. Or unless he really feels deeply about the alleged allegations against Ian Connor, I don't know. But this is the DM that Hidden NY shared on Instagram stories. You can see Sicko, which is Ian Connor's Instagram account. He posts a pitch. He sent Hidden 4 pictures of his bomber jacket that he did a few. I think this is old actually. His bomber jacket. It's from January. Yeah, he made a bomber jacket with a stitched in hood. In different colorways, which is it looked pretty nice to be fair. Comes in a pink, navy gray, and I think a white on the back there. And he sent him the picture of the bomber jacket. Said, "Hey, new day, same pain. Can you put these up tomorrow on the main page? Announced they released. We got too much history for you to not support me. How I was a big part in supporting you, and that's just real. You can't." You can ask for a favor and ask the favor politely, but you can't say I deserve to be on your page, because it's like, what? You're not entitled to anything. Do you know what I mean? You can't demand that. I don't think so anyway. It's not very polite. And then a Hidden NY post on the bottom, a caption: if you want to know why Ian Connor is posting about me on his story, this is why. I won't post his shit brand. Jesus Christ. He called Sicko shit. I don't know. You know what I'm going to say? Because I wasn't a fan of Hidden. I'm not a fan of the page. And I think the early colors are a bit shit. But lately he's been killing it. I'm not going to lie. I wonder what he would say about if he was to go band for back, clothes for clothes. If he was to go lookbook for lookbook, piece for piece, line sheet for line sheet with Sicko. Does he think he has a stronger brand than Hidden? Than Sicko? He probably does, isn't it? He probably thinks he does stuff at a higher level than Sicko. Obviously, he's going to get better looks than Ian, because Ian Connor's never collaborating with all these big brands that Hidden collaborates with, right? I don't think Ian Connor is ever going to get a Sicko I pair of headphones, right? His name is too burnt out here. Those allegations are not going to go anywhere. But yeah, I wonder if people think Hidden NY is better than Sicko too. That'll be the other thing too. Next screenshot, he says, because he didn't post it. So he replied back to the post and said, in August, I'ma actually beat you up when I see you, or just pay someone to hurt you. Why does Ian Connor always resort to violence? He did this to Luis Pisano as well. He needs to chill. Because that's the thing about Ian Connor. He's really small, isn't it? He's like a 5 foot whatever guy, but he seems to be always on the fucking drama. It's like, brother, you're too small for this. Like, if someone catches you, you're kind of fucked as well. I get it. Small guys have a little bit of a, inferiority complex, right? Napoleon complex, whatever it is, right? And they're usually the ones who are ready to crash out more. Lil Uzi being a good example of it, right? Lil Uzi looks like he can scrap, even though he's fucking tiny. I think Rich the Kid would attest to that. But Ian Connor's got to relax a little bit. He's a little bit too quick to go for the threats and stuff and whatever else it may be. The guy doesn't want to post your stuff on his page. Like, it's his prerogative. It's his page, isn't it? He continues to say, I'm actually beat you up. Hidden puts a caption, says, at Ian Connor actually said he's going to beat me. He's going to get me hit, but nothing has happened. Okay, Hidden needs to chill too. Hidden NY guy, you need to chill. Hidden admin needs to relax too. You can't be goading people. You can't be antagonizing people. You can't be daring people to fuck you up because they might just do it because they've been made to look like a mug, you know? They kind of pride, you know? You don't want to do that. I think hidden guy needs to relax. Actually said he's going to hit me, but nothing has happened. Maybe he needs to be more. Maybe he needs to pay more. His brand isn't doing well, so probably limited budget. At Complex, why do you allow this person to? Okay, that I don't condone. You can't be snitching like this. This is a little bit too much, hidden guy. This what you said here makes sense. I get it. You know, talk your shit, clap back. But at in fucking Complex and trying to get him removed from Complex Con, that's a little bit too much. Like, you need to relax. I don't condone that type of level of snitching, I'm not going to lie. But still, what an interesting fucking back and forth, innit? This kind of, I don't know, this feels like maybe Ian Connor's not doing as good as he thinks he is, or as he makes it seem when it comes to Sicko. Because those allegations are the allegations of, you know, him allegedly raping a bunch of girls. It's going to make it hard for regular people to wear your stuff, you know? That's the problem. Or maybe the people that you want to wear your stuff, the cool kids. There might be some people that want to be down that are going to wear it still, but the people that you want to wear it, the page that you want to feature it, because I don't think he got his stuff. Did they feature it on Hypebeast? Let me check. I don't think they post about Sicko on Hypebeast, do they? I think there might be a ban on that. Let's see if I write Sicko. Do they write about Sicko on Hypebeast? Oh, not Sicko. Sicko. Let's see. I'm curious. Did they ever write about Sicko on Hypebeast? Sicko. Anything on Hypebeast? Yeah, nothing. Sicko mode, but there's no Sicko. No Ian Connor Sicko on Hypebeast. So clearly there's a bit of a media ban on him on that regard. Do they write about him in High Snobiety? Let's see. So I guess maybe that's why he's trying to get these pages to write about him and put the word out, because unless they put the word out, no one else is going to know what he's doing, innit? Unless you follow him. Let's see, did they write about Sicko on High Snobiety? Nah. No Sicko on High Snobiety either. Shit, okay. Maybe that's why he's really angsty about getting featured on these pages, man. Shit, that's kind of bad mind. Not gonna lie, but again, you know, those allegations are the allegations. Another screenshot. It shows Hidden in White posted. Oh shit! Hidden in White posted the article. 21 rape allegations later. Ian Connor remains a fashion busiest circle. At Ian Connor 2121. Come get me. Fucking hell. 21 red rum playing as well. And the caption there's hilarious. And he posts another screenshot again saying "suck my dick" to him. I would never hurt you, Hidden. You love you, bro, and good shit on the shoes. Suck my dick. Now he's trying to be nice. Suck my dick. That's a good reply, by the way. Big up Hidden NY, man. Big up Hidden NY. Standing 10 toes down. Not gonna lie, that kind of makes me like the page now. That kind of makes me like the page and the people behind it. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the page now. This standing 10 toes down and doing this is fucking hilarious. And like I said, I don't think he's done a bad job yet on the ASIC stuff, man. I think he started off doing limited edition stuff, and now I think they get more quantities because clearly they're selling well. The Uggs were really decent, but I don't think he's done a bad ASICS collaboration since he started working with them. It's a little bit predictable. So there's always going to be involved, you know, the green, which is their kind of icon, the icon color and shit, right? Their unique USP, whatever. But they're brilliant, man. What are these? What's the model? ASICS Gel DS Trainer. Again, the name of ASICS are horrible, isn't it? The names, they need to shorten them. A6 Gel DS Trainer 14. Like, fucking hell. Just call it the, I don't know, hyphen, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, make it simpler. Anyway, but yeah, decent shoe, man. Decent fucking shoe. I also like this kind of, this tint. There's a bit of a dye here, right? There's a little bit of plastic on the side, but there's a little bit of a tint, a little bit of a green hue tint, a little bit of a dye job done on the mesh, which is a nice little hit as well. And I think the hidden fucking Uggs were really nice as well. I'm not gonna lie, the hidden Ugg collabs are really fucking nice. I really like those. I think they had like a razor blade thing on the side or something. Yeah, they kind of gave me Chrome Hearts vibes. I don't know what it is about it, but I really like those. Those are really nice, workwear inspired. They kind of reminded me of something Virgil would be into. I don't know why. RIP to the GOAT, but I think Virgil would have worn these if he was still alive. I think he would have liked these. They're definitely just like, well, like workshop what you call it, hidden NY Uggs. Let me see the video actually. What they look like on video. Yeah, what's this guy saying? What's this guy? Big up Wesley. Big up Wesley. What's he saying about them?
Footwear collab of 2025 is a pair of Uggs. Last week I got an email.
This is why I'm saying sneaker of the year. You have to be a little bit more, you know, interesting and not just have fucking 4 Jordan 4s. if I'm putting a list together, I'd include these in there. I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit unconventional. You know what I mean? That's how my list would be. It wouldn't just be fucking Nigel Sylvester Jordan 4s, Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1s, Travis Scott. I mean, you gotta mix it up a little bit. You know? I think this is a good contender for sneaker of the year.
Asking if I wanted a pair of Uggs upcoming very special collaboration with no other details given. So obviously I said yes, and a week later, this showed up at my door. This is the Hidden New York
Really
Ugg
nice,
tool boot,
really
and it's a
nice.
classic Ugg boot with some metal plating and a pocket for this tool here.
I would definitely wear these, and then once the sole wears out, get them fucking resoled with a really rugged sole. I think they look brilliant, beaten up as well with some stains on it. They look fucking incredible. You know, if you get them resoled a bit thicker and stuff, maybe a vibrant sole, something a bit thicker. Oof.
Which is a bottle opener, saw, and Allen wrench, amongst other things. My pair is number 183 out of 200, and apparently these were never actually for sale, but were instead offered as the prize to some scavenger hunt.
Ah, really? So you can't even buy these? That's pretty sick. I never knew that.
So how many of you got your hands on a pair? Listen, I don't know how we feel about Uggs. I've never actually owned any, but I do like Hidden, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I like them, man. Big up Hidden, man. They killed it. Big up fucking Hidden. Big up Blood Clot Hidden. Big up Blood Clot Hidden. Big up Electronic Beats too. Electronic Beats have a little feature here on the one and only Eerste Communie. Big up Eerste Communie. I actually didn't know, I'm not gonna lie, before I saw this video clip, I actually didn't know that this one guy here on the left hand side, what's his name? I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Gills Whirlwind? I don't know if this is Gills, the black guy here on the bald head. He's really cool, man. I actually DM'd him a while back about, I think when I was considering going to Ukraine, actually. I was considering going to Kiev to go check out that club that's designed by the people that designed fucking Berghain. I think it's called like K41 or something, right? It's a really cool club over there that people really have a lot of good things to say about. Has a great sound system. It's meant to be even nicer inside like, as a club than Berghain, if you can believe it. And it's a really kind of cool little scene. But obviously the war broke out just before I was about to go, actually. Legitimately, I think the same month, actually, I think I was DMing him, the war over there broke out. He's actually been there ever since, actually. Because I think it helps if you live in Europe. You can probably travel there via train, maybe through Poland and stuff, whatever it may be. But still, DM'd him, pretty nice, kind of gave me some tips and stuff and whatever else it may be. And then I think I bumped into the guy randomly in Berghain one day, you know, and he was cool too. And to be fair, if you've been to Berlin, you'd know black creatives, black cool guys are usually not the most friendly when they see another black fellow. It's a bit sad, to be fair, because, you know, I'd imagine, I don't live out there, but I'd imagine there's probably not a lot of black people in Berlin anyway. And if you're in the scene, you should probably all be friends and getting along and kind of collaborating or just hanging about and trying to, you know what I mean, whatever. Just, there's not many of you around. But they're usually not the nicest. I'm not gonna lie. They're usually a little bit stush. They're usually a little bit cunty, usually a bit standoffish. Even though I'm somebody that I always make an effort to say hi. Like, I've never not been in Berghain or been in Berlin and seen a black person and not nodded and just waved or said what's up. I'm always saying it. I don't care, man or woman. I'm always they them. I'm always gonna fucking say hi. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I'm always gonna acknowledge just to kind of, you know, make sure that you're known and seen and recognized, you know, brotherhood, sisterhood and shit. And he was cool too. So in Berghain, had a quick little hi he, and he was fine. So yeah, so big up here. I didn't know he was involved in Eerste Communie. I had no idea, to be fair. I know obviously Maron's involved in it. I know fucking Renee White's one, the, you know, what's that, one of the resident DJs, but I didn't know that this guy was involved in running the actual party. It's pretty cool because he doesn't mention it. Seems pretty chill about it. Again, doesn't seem super up his ass, so it makes sense as well why everyone kind of likes the party. The people behind it are fairly chill. But this is a little video kind of talking about the party and what they do. I guess background from Electronic Beats. It says, born in 2016 from outdoor raves around Amsterdam to one of the most respected communities in electronic music, Eerste Communie keeps the lineup unannounced, keeps it DIY, and it's all about unity on the dance floor. Thanks for taking us on a journey through Amsterdam and serving a deep look into the evolution of your crew. And thanks to organizing everything to the guy that I know whose name is Gills. I think it's Gills or Gills Weirden. Gills Weirwind, I think. Apologies if I got that fucked up. Let's press play here, but I have to say.
Hey, we're Eerste Communie, an Amsterdam-based collective.
We started doing illegal raves
to build up our community.
Oh, legendary video, by the way. Legendary video. This guy sells it, by the way. This guy's smile, the girl in front of him waving in and out, the sand dunes in the back. I think this might have been around COVID. This is a legendary video. It kind of They did for a party that doesn't let people take pictures and doesn't have lineups and stuff. These videos have done a good job in promoting. It's a fine balance, you know. Have some clips so people know what the vibe is like and what the scene is like, but then also don't have people in there fucking live streaming the whole thing. You know, a bit of mystery, a bit of openness, a bit of mystery, a bit of openness. I get it.
The spirit around the brand.
Since when are you active and how did it all start?
Eerste Communie was born in 2016.
This is like one of the first locations where we did a 24-hour rave.
Wow.
In 2017. The very, very start.
Oh, so he's Dutch. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. My bad. I guess he lives in Berlin. Okay, that guy's Dutch. I don't know. Okay, cool. I didn't know he was Dutch. I guess I should have guessed by the name, to be fair. His name does sound kind of Dutchy.
This was the DJ booth and everybody would just dance here. Put their bikes and shit over there and it was wild. People would stand on this little hill. This is actually one of my favorites.
That's pretty fucking cool, man. What an amazing start. They've grown pretty quickly, to be fair, but that's fucking cool. But they do have a big kind of like 24-hour all day scene out there. Do you know what I mean? They're fucking soldiers when it comes to raving fucking all day and all weekend. I think because it starts on a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, right? Don't most Eerste Communie start on Sundays? I don't know, but yeah, they don't. But then how do they go to work on a Monday? I don't know. I think they figured it out, or maybe they have a really good welfare system over there in Holland. I know the Berlin one's pretty decent. The German one's pretty decent. People, you know, you get a decent amount of money from the government and shit. But I don't know, how do they go to work then if they start raving on a Sunday?
Good location where we had.
At the time, there weren't many daytime Sunday parties in Amsterdam. We wanted to create something that we were missing. Very much inspired by Berlin. We started with a group of friends this project.
I love this stuff more, you know, getting inspired by a place like Berlin, but doing it where you're from. I love this idea, but I also like that they've made it because I think there was a time a few years ago where people were doing too much of the I'm inspired by Berlin thing, and you can't really do that in London. You're kind of constrained by the clubs and by the laws and stuff, and just by people's behavior. It's just really hard. You kind of have to make your own version. You kind of have to take the best of what they do and sort of like simple. Even I think Foux do a good job of doing that. Foux in the beginning were very inspired by Berlin. I think now they just do their own thing, you know. I don't really think you can feel they're trying to copy a Berlin thing. They're just doing their own thing. I guess that comes with time. I guess that's probably with most ideas, isn't it? The way you start is that you copy, and then obviously through copying you then find your own voice. But I do like how obviously it's got vibes of what they do in Berlin, but it's definitely a very Amsterdam. It's a very Dutch thing, you know. So how they kind of go about doing things, even the way they just organize their parties, where they do them, the fucking lineups and shit. I like it. I like what they're doing.
Which happen to still be our resident DJs today.
Sick. What's the project all about, and what are you aiming to achieve?
We want to create unity on a dance floor. Everybody feels welcome. Everybody feels connected to music. Young, old, it doesn't matter. We all come together and have a great time and be a part of this journey.
So how do you move from underground to global stages while staying authentic?
To never sell your soul, stay true to your key elements. Keep the lineup unannounced. We try to focus on to not lose that, because the people that were there from the beginning are very important to have them to educate the people that are coming new. So
it's going to be hard though, isn't it? Because part of trying to make it grow or whatever, because they're doing a lot more Eerste Communies around the world. Like they've done a few Eerste Communies in Fold. I'm sure they've done them in other locations around Europe. But obviously, if you're real and you're about it, you want to experience it there. It's like if Robert Johnson do a night in here, you're going to go, but you're going to want to experience Robert Johnson the club in Frankfurt. So the heads that really are about this life are still going to make the pilgrimage to Amsterdam, to ADE or wherever to go and fucking experience a rave for what it is when you're out there. But it must be a hard balance, because every time you do a Eerste Communie in Fabric or Fold or somewhere else, you do have to be conscious that you are, even just without intentionally doing it, you are somewhat cheapening the brand, you know? But then if you just stay and just leave the party at your location and where you're from, you don't grow, you know? People that also don't get a chance to kind of check out what you're about. So maybe some people don't have access to travel. And what they do, I think one of the Eerste Communies they did, I think in Fold, somebody said, I think I saw it somewhere, maybe in the forum or somewhere, or maybe on the Reddit or something. Somebody said something like, "Oh, the vibe was really cool." Like, so I don't know how they've done it, but they've worked out a way. Maybe it's because the parties are well known and so people come out. Whenever they do parties abroad, the vibe is still kind of the same as what they do at home, you know. So they still maintain that level of community and whatever it may be. So you don't get a watered down version of what they do. You get what they do kind of transposed over here, and it kind of gives you the appetite to then want to go and rave with them over there. So it must be a hard balance. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, if I was a part of this team, if I had a party like this, I would just leave it where it's at. If you want to experience what we're doing, you come here. We don't put this party in festivals. We don't have stages anywhere. None of that shit. It stays here. That's what I would do personally. But then again, there's no money in that. And if you want to book more interesting guests, you want to put on more fun parties, you kind of have to do, you kind of have to kind of go out and do these other things and touch the fans and do other projects and go to festivals and shit and have stages and shit. You kind of have to do it. So it is what it is.
We still keep that Eerste Communie vibe from back today to now.
What does community mean to you?
People that were there from the beginning, they were all helping, when the aggregator for the power would shut off, people would jump on and try to fix it.
Yeah, we had one time doing an illegal raid.
No homo, but Dutch people are fucking good looking, innit? Dutch men. Like, girls over there must be, it must be hard to keep your neck from fucking twisting left to right, or guys in general. Dutch dudes are, no homo, but Dutch dudes are fucking good looking, bro. Fucking hell.
And we needed to move 4 times of location because the police.
Niggas' face are tight as fuck. Walk with a straight back, you know what I mean? Speak how they mean how they speak and shit. Running little businesses, partying, balancing family. Like, they look good, bro. And if you went there as well, these niggas are tall. These niggas are fucking man mountains, brother. Like, yay, Dutch niggas might have it, I'm not gonna lie.
People stopping it, and we had the entire community helping us, carrying the speakers, driving cars back and forth. From the start, they were very much invested in building this together with us.
Yeah, they love that, by the way. That's a big thing over there. I think there's a massive festival they do as well, but that's a big thing about doing like outdoor raves underneath bridges or underneath fucking motorways. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's because that's an easier way to kind of connect to power sources, or whether it's better for the acoustics or just it's better space. But they seem to like, I think in Belgium too, they seem to like doing raves, illegal raves, outdoor raves underneath motorways and by motorways, under overpasses and shit. They love that shit. Kind of what we do here in the UK, we do like forest raves. They do like, motorway raves, I guess.
They built this project with us, it's not just us. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are today. So it's important to not forget where you come from.
What does DIY mean to you, and why is it important for the scene?
It's really about creating something out of nothing with the goal of bringing people together and not making money. And also showcasing people that normally have voices or sounds that are unheard. It keeps the experience raw, visceral, real, authentic, and it's all about freedom.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, especially in the UK, London anyway, because there's such a limited amount of club spaces. They're probably all booked up, I'd imagine. Probably most of the ones that you'd want to put parties in are probably booked up a year in advance. It kind of forces you to kind of get creative, to create new parties and stuff. And I think that's what makes a scene more interesting. So weirdly enough, although we all complain, myself included, about gentrification and whatnot, and, maybe local governments not supporting clubs and them closing down and not being replaced and and maybe neighbors and residents having maybe too much of an outsized opinion and view and power in order to get clubs shut down. I think all the constraints, all the hurdles actually make for a far more thriving scene, I think in general, much more thriving scene. Obviously, it would be much better in London if we had similar to what they have in Berlin, where they have, a better relationship with the city or with the local government when it comes to clubs. Clubs are open longer. They take clubbing very seriously. It's a big part of the economy, blah, 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 blah. But I think the lack of options, it kind of forces people to do more interesting, more creative things. That's why I think even now, we probably have one of the best, probably vibrant kind of queer sort of alternative scene out there when it comes to club nights and stuff, from festivals, from kink raves, all things in between. Like, we have a problem to the point where like the big clubs like Fabric are like trying to get those guys to put parties on in their clubs, because they see where the tide is shifting, the tides are turning, the vibe is shifting. Everyone kind of wants to go to those raves anymore. They don't really want to go to the old stubby kind of like DJ magazine top 10 kind of parties anymore. I think I like it. So the constraints kind of help the scene, weirdly enough. So in your opinion, what is special about Amsterdam scene?
You can tell because it became so many small organizations that people started supporting organizations rather than clubs. It's not about a competition anymore. It's about building something together, which is for the scene, whether it's global, whether it's commercial, or whether it's underground.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see a lot of people obsessing. I do still, because I'm a fucking loser. But there's not a lot of people obsessing about clubs the way they used to. Nowadays, people are following party promotions, I guess, or club collectives, whatever they're called, right? People that organize raves, they're following them more so. Streaming platforms, let's say, as opposed to the club. Like, it doesn't matter where the like, people are trusting the people that organize a rave more so than the clubs themselves. Wherever the rave goes, they go, you know, sort of thing, which is really fucking cool. And it shows a difference in terms of behaviors. It gives everyone a chance, because I think in the past, if your rave wasn't in a certain club, if you didn't put your rave on a Ministry, at Fabric or whatever, people wouldn't give you a chance. But I feel like now people are more hungry for newer, fresher experiences, and they want to support people who are doing cool, interesting things. They just want to support people that have the best DJ, the biggest DJ playing, you know, which is also a fucking cool thing. But what I like about Amsterdam scene for me, well, again, I've only been out there, twice, right? What I did like about it, for what I saw, was number one, the smoking was fucking brilliant. It was nice to go to a club and not just be high on fucking MD, coke, kek, or whatever. I could just go to the rave and just smoke the whole night. That was fucking fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I'd enjoy that more than I thought I would. The scene is really nice. People are way more friendly and chatty and nicer to talk to and just hang out with than Berlin, or even especially than London. So I really did like that also. And just in general, the vibe is just chill. I don't know. I guess I only went to a couple of clubs, but still, I didn't feel like people were like super fucked and wired. I feel like people were like, they knew how to behave. Sound systems were great across the board. Transport was easy. You know, the food is fucking delicious over there as well. It's a vibe. Maybe the only thing that was surprising was how expensive the drinks were. I don't know why, but I thought the drinks would be cheaper in clubs, but the drinks are kind of pricey. It's not cheap. It's not cheap for drinks. It's kind of same like London prices. More expensive than Berlin. So I was surprised by that, but in general, I do like the vibe over there, man. It's fucking great. What's next for Eerste Communie?
Next year, it's our 10 years anniversary. So we will do a world tour to try to reach subculture around the world, to inspire, hopefully, but also to get inspired. And besides that, we will start a sub project that will be led by 2 of our residents. But that's still a surprise.
I'm assuming Rene Wise and somebody's going to do some sort of project with them. That's pretty cool. There's going to be a world tour happening pretty soon. Eerste Communie world tour happening next year, 2026. Can't wait to see when that happens as well. So big up them, man. Really cool feature. Big up the Gills kid. Gills, Jules. I forgot how you pronounce your name. Apologies. He's really nice, man. When I bumped into him a couple of times, he's really nice. Cool dude. Big up Multisex too. What's Multisex up to actually? Let's see them. What they're doing in the comments. Multisex have a New Year's Day party happening, I think in December, right? I'm curious to see what the fuck Multisex are up to before we fucking end this thing. You get me? Big up Multisex. Oh yeah, the posters, the flyers. I kind of reminds me of that. What's that song? Is it Candy? Whatever that flyer was, that tune back in the day. Really cool design for their flyers, by the way. Big up Multisex for their New Year's Day parties happening. Is it New Year's Day? Oh no, it's not. It's New Year. Hold on. It starts when? Oh, it's a 24-hour New Year party on the 27th. Interesting, right? When's the 27th? Is that during the week? They're doing a New Year's party on the 27th. I don't know. Okay. Because New Year's Day is on the Tuesday and a Wednesday. Okay, fair enough. Maybe that's what. Maybe it kind of gives people an excuse. Maybe New Year's Day and New Year's Eve is all in the mind, right? It's not a date. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. But it's interesting, isn't it? Instead of doing a New Year's Day event on the 31st and shit or the 1st, they're doing on the 27th, and it's only a 24-hour night as well. So it's like 27th to the 28th or 29th at most. Okay. But the flyer is fucking beautiful, by the way. New Year's 27, 2025 starts 11:59 p.m. Weekend club. Includes 24 hours of multi-sex dance music. 15 artists on 2 dance floors. Fucking crazy. Look at that. Look at the flyer. So fucking cool, man. Multi-sex weekend club. Really fucking cool artwork, man. Big up the person that designed this, by the way. Who's that? Laura Gertie. You killed it. Big up you, art direction. Absolutely killed it. Fucking love it. Really fucking cool. So yeah, big up Multisex, big up Eerste Communie. Big parties out there doing big fucking things. You love to see it. You love to fucking see it. Anyways, people, That has been the Excellent Zinger Show, episode number 973. Been a pleasure to have your company as per usual. Thank you for tuning in. Those of you who are tuning in live, make sure you smash like, hit subscribe, all that good shit. Much appreciated. If you are here, later on there'll be a random show. Don't be surprised, don't be annoyed by that. Later on there will be a random show. Do not be annoyed, do not be surprised. For those of you that are here, actually, let me give some memberships before some of you guys leave. Actually, let me be nice and gift some memberships because I've got some free ones to give. Let's give some 5 memberships. But yeah, big up everybody for tuning in. Appreciate all of you for tuning in live. Those of you who are listening to the audio side of the pod, you will hear my tune of the day underneath my voice. The tune of the day underneath my voice will be from Lancey Foux. New single that just come out called Daytona. Lancey Foux, new single called Daytona is playing underneath my voice. Those of you tuning in live, be the audio side of the pod. Everybody else, I'll see you guys again later on tonight for a random show. But thank you for tuning in. Jackson Show episode number 973. Been a pleasure. Never ever a chore. Appreciate you all. Take care. Be well. Take care. Be well.